Mic, check, 1 2 1 2 1 2. Mic, check, 1 2 1 2. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Okay, let me get this all loaded. Let me get the filters all done. The gain. Oh, the gain's quite high already, isn't it? Damn, son. Let's go. Let's get to 16 then. Fuck it. Let's do 16. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me get my headphones in, ready to rock. Yo, what's happening, Don Dotto? What's happening, my guy? How you doing? How you doing? Long time no see. Long time no see, ladies and gentlemen. What happened there? YouTube. Why look at me at everything? Oh, that's wrong account. What's going on, people? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? How you guys doing? Apologies for the delay. I just got back from watching the fucking Odyssey at the IMAX in Greenwich, so it took a bit longer to get back because, you know, I'm on the opposite side of London, so it took me a while to get back. I had to book like a last minute sort of, like, the only one that was available was the one that was in Greenwich, and it was available at like 10 something p.m. Do you know what I mean? So that's the reason why I'm back so late, and that's the reason why it took so fucking long. So apologies for that. But it was well worth it, I'm not gonna lie. It was well fucking worth it. I'm not gonna lie, it was well fucking worth it. Christopher Nolan smashed it. I really enjoyed the Odyssey. I really enjoyed it. If I had a slight criticism, I'm probably gonna do a proper review of it when I do Taz. I'll do a proper review of it when I do Taz. But if I had a slight criticism, I'd say maybe the start was a bit slow. You know, the start was a bit slow. But I thought the middle and towards the end, magnificent. I really fucking enjoyed it. Honestly, I really fucking enjoyed it. Yeah, man, it was quite sobering. I'm not gonna lie, it was quite sobering. I left with a lot of feelings, with a lot of thoughts, mostly just like us humans and our propensity for pain, you know, not wanting to heed the lessons, not wanting to heed warnings, having to go through absolute struggle before you really glean as to what you should and shouldn't be doing, you know. And yeah, man, that's what I kind of, you know, put together or passed in my head when I was watching the Odyssey. I was like, Jesus Christ, we all do this, innit? Us humans, we love doing this. We love just never ever heeding warnings. We love just kind of like, you know, thinking we can dictate things, thinking we're always in control. And yeah, man, not knowing that sometimes our actions can be selfish and they can hurt others in ways that you probably could never ever envision or predict in any kind of sort of way. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the Odyssey. I thought the fucking soundscape, I think whatever they do with that, was sublime, man. I forgot how he is, like, with the fucking sound of the fucking what you call it on the boat? What do you call that on the boat? The fucking sheet, the sail. The sound of the sail, the crackling of the fire, some of the noises from the monsters. Oh, you just forget how, like, it's a sensory overload, isn't it? Like, he's really good at that, Christopher Nolan. He's really good at capturing all that sort of stuff. So that was fucking great. I didn't mind the dialogue, by the way. Everyone was bitching and moaning about the dialogue because obviously it wasn't like in Greek or in Latin, I guess, right? Or whatever the historic language was back then. But I didn't mind it. I thought it was really decent. One person who I thought was a bit meh was Tom Holland. I thought that was a weird casting, I'm not gonna lie. I thought Tom Holland was fucking shit. Not even shit, like a bit like, you know? Tom Holland was pretty unnecessary in that. Didn't like him at all. I thought Lupita Nyong'o, after everything everyone kept saying, I thought Lupita was really good. I really enjoyed Lupita's performance. I really liked Aden Eggnog. We never got to see his face, but I thought Aden Eggnog performance was really strong. I really like to see, and I wish we would have. I wonder why they didn't. The people in the stream chat, why do we never get like a full face reveal of Aden Eggnog, whatever his fucking name is, the massive one with the fucking helmet with the gold sort of like spinal cord? Or braids, whatever. Why didn't we ever get like a full facial reveal of him with his helmet off? I don't understand it. I was like I was trying to look at, you know, I was on the IMAX, like peeking around the corner. But yeah, man. Anyway, I'll do a full review on Taz. I'll do a full review on Taz. I'm not gonna bore some of you guys here with it. I'll do a full review on Taz. I'll do a full review on Taz. So, lower thing to get into. I've got so many clips to go into as well, so we're just gonna get cracking with it. You know what? First, I want to do the first thing I actually want to do is this. Let me actually check out Podcast Cringe, because I think I've got something from Whitney Cummings I want to quickly check out. Oh yeah, big up Ashley Cummings too, by the way. I couldn't check out her birthday stream the other day, but big up Ashley Cummings. She was doing a little birthday stream, so if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. But there's a Whitney Cummings thing that I never actually ended up watching. I don't really know what's going on with Whitney Cummings. So let me check out what's happening with Whitney Cummings from Podcast Cringe before we begin. And then I also need to do a Too Ladies to Try, I think, right? I think it's a Too Ladies to Try I've also got to check out as well. Maybe it's an American... No, and there's also a Commedia Apologia with Mark... Something about Mark Norman. So let me see what I'm going to do. So that's American Redact I think I've got to do. A reaction to that. I think they got something new as well. Yeah, the American Redact got something about Tom Segura, which I'm going to do as a follow-up on the stuff that I've got already.
Not.
Then, hold on.
What do we do?
And then there's also a... What was I going to say? There's also a... Podcast Cringe, American Redact. Two to try, or was it? No, Apologia. Commedia Apologia as well I've got to do. That's the Mark Norman one, right? I think that's about him farting and shit into the mic and other people not liking it, I'm pretty sure.
It's
right. And then that's it, I think, in terms of reactions I've got to check out. Is there 2 days to try? I don't think there is. There one? Let me double check. Is there any 2 to try? There's Andrew Tate stuff. He's on the Andrew Tate tilt recently, so maybe we'll do the Andrew Tate stuff with him. And obviously we'll finish off Fighting the Kid. And we've also got to finish off the fucking Catch and Cook with Chin. So we'll do that as well. I'm also going to leave the Discord up in case there's any videos on the Discord I need to check out. And then that's it, right? For the most part. Cool. So let's get straight into it then. Let's just get straight into it. The first I want to talk about actually is the Whitney Cummings thing. So there we go. Whitney Cummings Podcast Cringe. Let's crack onto that one now. Let's crack onto that one. Big up Podcast Cringe. This first video is going to be the Whitney Cummings situation is crazy. I know some of you have already watched it. I'm sure some of you guys already watched it. But let's check it out anyway. Podcast Cringe. The Whitney Cummings situations is crazy. The Whitney Cummings situation is crazy. Let's see or let's hear from him what's going on with Whitney Cummings.
This episode's a little bit late because I was in Washington, D.C. doing the Mark Twain Prize of American Humor. Donald Trump, I didn't realize how much power he has over the Kennedy Center. But I did cut a joke and I feel the need to just say it. And I'm sure it's going to get us demonetized on YouTube, possibly kicked off. And like...
All right, relax, Whitney. Already she's already chatting shit. All right, Whitney, relax. All right, Whitney, fucking relax. All right? Let's fucking relax with this fucking hyperbole. Let's relax with this grandiose sense of self, okay? Let's chill out with the grandiose sense of self. Chill out. It could get us demonetized. We could get completely eradicated from YouTube. It will never be the same. They will never let me talk again. Just say the fucking joke. Put the fucking joke in the fucking bag, Whitney. Put the fucking jokes in the fucking bag.
I'm not being the bratty, like I should be able to make whatever jokes I want whenever I want. Because I'm a hero. I'm a comedian. I'm on the front lines. I don't care. It's like, it's great. Cut it. And I'm pretty sure this podcast has been demonetized for 6 years now. What is everyone on that has all this energy? I've never been on I don't think I've ever been on an island at all, but have I?
Her talking about other people's energy and what they're on, and her rubbing her face that way and looking as cracked out as she does is really funny. I'm not going to lie. I guess it's projection, but it is kind of funny how she's like talking about others and how they look and how they act when she doesn't look the most sober, clear of mind?
He win or did I win? By cutting the joke. I was kind of like, I think I won.
What? So we've got Whitney Cummings crashing out again, but this time it's over her jokes getting deleted by Netflix. If you haven't heard because you've actually got a life, Bill Maher just won the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor. This is the same award that's been given to Dave Chappelle, Jon Stewart, Eddie Murphy, Adam Sandler, Conan O'Brien, and now Bill Maher.
To be fair, I think it cheapens the award. He's never going to shut up, by the way. This is the worst person ever to get this award. This is the worst person you could ever give it to. He's never not going to shut up now. He's never not going to shut up. If he already thought he was, if he already had a grandiose sense of self, right? If you thought his head was already big, his head's going to be on fucking Mars now that he's got this award. You can't tell this man jack shit. You can't tell him anything. You cannot tell him a single thing. This is the worst person ever you could have given this award to.
I wasn't planning on covering this because award shows are stupid. They're just an excuse for the rich and famous to get together and pat each other on the back. But this whole situation is completely unhinged, and once Whitney started crashing out, I just couldn't resist. Basically, the Mark Twain Prize is one of the highest honors a comedian can get. It's awarded by the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C.
Bryan Callen when? Bryan Callen and Brendan posthumously, right? Bryan Callen and Brendan Schaub when? Bryan Callen and Brendan Schaub when?
And it's named after Mark Twain because he has a legacy as a political satirist. The whole point of the award is to recognize comedians who do the same thing. I actually didn't know this, but the ceremony gets filmed and put on Netflix as a special, and when you look at who showed up for Bill Maher compared to previous years, it ironically gets even funnier. Conan's ceremony last year had John Mulvaney, Bill Burr, Nikki Glaser, Will Ferrell, Sarah Silverman, Stephen Colbert, Adam Sandler, and David Letterman.
Wow.
Kevin Hart's had Chappelle, Seinfeld, Chris Rock, Jimmy Fallon. Chappelle's had Bradley Cooper, Kevin Hart, John
Who turned up to Bill Maher's one? Who turned up? Don't do this. Who turned up to look? There's fucking Thundercat there and shit. Who turned up to fucking Bill Maher's one? Who turned up? Who turned up? Was it like Sam Tripoli or something? Who turned up? Louis J. Gomez. Who fucking turned up? Yeah, big up Chris Mack. Apologies. Yeah, I've had a long day. I've had a fucking long day. I just ended it with watching Odyssey at the IMAX just a few hours ago. Absolute masterpiece. I'll probably do a review on that on Taz coming up. But yeah, it's been a long day for me. It's been a long day. I've been on my feet all fucking day. So apologies for the delay, but we're here. Big up Chris Mack in the chat. Big up PTK, I see you. Big up Apex Potter, I see you. Jordan Ray, Wagwan. What's that lounge act? What's going on?
Do it, Trevor Noah. And so, wait for it, Bill Maher got Louis C.K., Whitney Cummings, and Jay Leno.
Oh no, look at Bill Maher's one. How shitty. Whitney looks good though. In that picture here, Whitney looks good. I'm not gonna lie. I like Whitney's dress. Or maybe I like the top half. The bottom half is a little bit too nude for me personally. But Whitney looks good here, to be fair. In this picture here, from this angle, from this far, from this depth or whatever, she looks really good there. Whitney looks good. Whitney doesn't look too bad there. I don't recognize him. Oh, that's the actor, right? That guy's that guy is the one from Netflix. That's Ted Sarandos or something. I don't know who that lady is. Don't know who this man is. Stephen A. Smith. I think this guy here is a comedian as well. Or is he the guy that does like impressions or like he's a magician? This guy here on the left, on the far left. Doesn't he do like magic tricks or something? Magic tricks or something like that, I think. By the way, the person that should be getting it is obviously Louis C.K., but he's not, you know. It's probably too politically incorrect to get it, but yeah.
That's it. And then a bunch of non-comedians like Woody Harrelson, Ariana Huffington, Stephen A. Smith, and John Mellencamp. I don't even know who half of these people are, but you know when Stephen A. Smith is invited to an award show for a comedian, they've hit rock bottom. This is easily the weakest lineup I've ever seen.
It kind of goes to show you how not liked he is by other comedians, by the way. That's obvious, isn't it? To be fair. You know? That's obvious. Like he's not that well liked by the comedians, or maybe they just didn't come. I don't know. You know how comedians are weird too. Maybe comedians actually felt because he got the award, they kind of, I could see comedians seeing that Bill Maher got the award getting really annoyed and not wanting to go out of protest, like being like, what the fuck? That guy's barely a comedian, you know? He's barely funny kind of thing, which is kind of rich coming from a lot of those guys because they're all friends with Rogan and they don't seem to have a problem with Rogan's comedy, but they will have everyone seems to call out Bill Maher, right? Everyone loves to call out Bill Maher for not being funny and all this malarkey and being a bit cringe or being a bit of a creep, blah, 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 blah. But no one wants to call out fucking Rogan, right? No one wants to say nothing about Rogan not being funny.
And when the fuck did they start putting this award show up on Netflix as a comedy special? First of all, it's an award ceremony. And secondly, how are they going to call this a Netflix comedy special when they could barely get 3 comedians to show up?
It's just a way, again, this is what I mean about Brendan Schaub's like podcast one deal. As great as it was for him personally, and you have to give props again, you know, no matter if you hate the person, if they get a win, you have to give them props because when they lose, you can then really stick the boot in. That's why I thought the Brendan Schaub podcast one deal was a little bit hype, you know, a little bit overblown. It was a little bit overstated because a lot of these companies, they have marketing budgets, like they have money they have to spend per quarter, come hook or crook. So in this regard, Netflix probably had investment and they had to already spec out a certain amount of comedy specials. So they went out of their way to like really bend the definition of what a comedy special was to fulfill whatever obligation that they had when it comes to their investment. You know, the investment meant they had to probably hire a bunch of people, open a bunch of new offices, implement some new technology, and also have like, I don't know, 100 and something specials drop in a year. And one of those obviously is going to count is the Mark Twain thing. So as great as it was for Brendan to get that podcast $1.1 million deal, I doubt it was about him and the quality of his work, and more so about Podcast One having to allocate that money. They just have to spend that money somewhere. They've already spent it on some of the top shows they have on their network, and Brendan just left, you know, he's one of the kind of ones left over. Fuck it, let's put some money on him as well. Do you know what I mean? So that's why this whole game is it's a little bit fugazi, you know? This whole content game's a little bit weird and fugazi. Like, it's a little bit weird and fugazi. Who knows? Bill Maher might not even want it if, like, Netflix didn't have investors that they had to kind of, you know, answer to and shit. Which means, you know, he gets this award because they have to put out content. Putting out content means putting out these shows, redefining what a comedy special is, blah, 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 blah. Yo, big up Coil in the Strat. What's going on, brother?
And one of those 3 comedians was Whitney Cummings. If you've been following this channel for a while, you'll know our history. She called me out for claiming she has bot views on her podcast and explained that they're not actually bots, they are paid Google ad impressions through YouTube.
But that could be true though, because isn't that something that the quartering does, isn't it? But I still think she just pays for straight up views, I'm not gonna lie. She probably still pays for it, but she stopped now, by the way. She's not doing it as obvious. She stopped doing the obvious ones of like doing the millions. But it is something that the quartering does. The quartering's been exposed for doing it. Big up Kino Casino and the other guy as well. I forgot his name. There's another guy as well who I watch who exposes the quartering. But there's a lot of guys online. I think Miskiff does it as well. Where if you pay for YouTube, if you pay for promo on YouTube, you can basically spend a bit of money and YouTube can funnel your videos or push it out to other people to kind of, you know, to improve its reach. But some people finesse it and really go crazy and obviously inflate their numbers, and it looks a bit weird. But yeah.
Yep. Whitney Cummings' podcast, Good For You, is actually a paid ad.
You know why.
Big up, Coelho. Wagwan. What's happening? Why is it a big day for you in the firm? What's going on, brother? You settling down? You settling down? Wagwan, my guy. What's happening? Why is it a big day for the fam? You settling down? Baby on the way? What's happening? Tell me.
You know why you're trolling me about this. Because you know it will hurt my feelings. You know I'm nice.
What?
And you do have a heart. And you know I do care about what you think.
But I've covered that already, and I'm going to be upfront with you guys. Whitney is actually on the right side of this one, at least at the beginning, before she completely crashes out in Whitney Cummings fashion and butchers every bit of social capital she earned. but we'll get to that. Remember to check out the link in the description to my Patreon if you want to see all of my long-form uncensored videos.
Oh, I love it. Big up, Coyle. Love to hear it. Never settled down, love it. I adopted a kid a long time ago. Love to hear that. He turned 18 today. That's fucking great, man. Amazing. Big up your 18-year-old. That's fucking brilliant. Honestly, man, how old are we getting? That some of us have fucking 18-year-olds? Oh, please, man. I just wanna be lit and young forever. I just wanna fucking shovel shit up my nose forever. How fucking old are we all getting that some of us have fucking Some of us are settling down, some of us are popping out babies. They will not be named, but you know who you are. Oh, I just want to be outside, man. I just want to be outside in the strip, whoring myself out, you know? Why must we grow up? Why? But big up Coyle, though. I appreciate it. Big up Coyle, man. Honestly, I fucking love it. I fucking love it. You should be proud, man. You should be fucking proud. 18 is no fucking joke. And yeah, you know, if it was me and I adopted or not, the fact that the kid is still alive, I'd be I'd be so proud of that, you know. I'd be so proud that I didn't fuck up and do some, I don't know, you know, like, I don't know. Well done to Coyle, man. Well done to Coyle. Big up your 18-year-old. Happy 18. I don't remember what I did when I was 18. What the fuck did I do when I was 18? Actually, I never did anything. I've never been a birthday person, innit? Anyway, I don't want to get that violent out again. But yeah, big up to your kiddo. Great to hear, brother. Great to hear.
There's almost 70 videos on there already, and I'm dropping new ones every single week. But as for Whitney, this is how it all started.
I assume he just like wanted to put his name on it.
Damn, big up Ason. I'm about to have a 30-year-old. God damn. God damn, man. Honestly, we're all getting so old. Oh my god. Honestly, I was listening to the new fucking Charlie XX album, right? If you haven't listened to it, please listen to it. Listen to the new Charlie XCX album. It's again, this is another topic for Taz. It's really fucking good. But some of the lyrics, man, I was looking out the bus window on the way home today thinking, fuck, man, that's so true. That's so fucking true. Time just goes like that. You know what I mean? Like, you really have to savor the moment. You have to be in it. You have to be present. Appreciate the ones around you. Hold the ones near and dear. Because time really does, it does really go. Is it possible to can you be a party boy forever? Is that possible? Can I try? Should I try? Because obviously I'm not settling down anytime soon, you know. Yeah, quite you know, me and him are the same in that regard. I can see myself having a kid before I ever settle down ever. Especially if the adoption option was an option, or I just fucking ended up kind of, you know, not pulling out on some random, right? I could definitely see that happening. But I'm also not, you know, I'm just not the guy for it right now. But I don't know, man. Like, could I be in Berghain like forever? Is that possible? Could I just be in Berghain forever? Could I be in Fold? Is that a thing? Question for another day. Big up stream chat. Question for another day.
So that it was like, he just has to put his name on everything. I didn't realize he is the chair, the board chair. I also didn't realize he's like terrorizing the people that work there. Like I was practicing my jokes and people were like, yeah, we'll get fired if you say that. And I'm like, that is the worst thing you could hear before, as a comic, like he was kind of roasty, you know.
They added to the job description, they have to police the jokes in the building.
Don't know, like, what a dork. I'm like, if he even watches this, he is such a dork. But I did cut a joke and I feel the need to just say it. And I'm sure it's going to get us demonetized on YouTube, possibly kicked off. I may actually need to, Truth Social might be the only platform we have left to do this show on after I tell it to you. But
just hurry
for
up
Trump to try to put his name on the Kennedy Center, well, he succeeded. For Trump to put his name on the Kennedy Center, this is petty even for him. But Trump has always hated John F. Kennedy because the Kennedys had Marilyn Monroe where he had a chance to grab her by the... Pretty sure all those words are bleeped if you're watching this on YouTube, and then I found myself trying to trade in jokes because I had a joke like, it's like Trump didn't make it tonight, he got caught in traffic, And if, I don't want to tell, I shouldn't tell the jokes. Okay, it's in the special. But I found myself being like, well, what if I cut that one and then do, because you don't think, wouldn't Trump see that and go like, yeah, the Kennedys did kill her? He wouldn't. I feel like he'd like that one.
I'll give you 2 essays for a P grab.
Like you're there going like, could I do this joke? I don't want to do this joke, but did he really kill? Was it the CIA that killed her? And I'm like, why is this even a conversation? First of all, why am I the bad guy for saying what these people did? And second, why?
I'm not gonna lie, like, I don't care. Big up Whitney, but I just don't give a fuck. And this is a boring ass story. Don't care, boring ass story. And also, I don't know, I don't really like. I was even listening to Tim Dillon earlier. Tim Dillon was going kind of in on the whole Trump presidency and going in on Lindsey Graham and his sister that might take over from him post his death and shit, right? And I look at some of these guys, I'm like, I know you're saying like the right things now, but I don't care. And I'm not even American, right? But I wonder how you guys in America feel. I don't care. Like, you guys are all smooching, being pally with this administration, right? Because it was the edgy, fun, contrarian thing to do, right? It was a thing that you weren't meant to do, so you did it for shits and giggles, and obviously for the money, because politics and social topics and all that malarkey pays well, you know, the algo kind of rewards that type of thing. And now the country's going to shit, and real things are happening in the real world that are affecting real people, and the whole Epstein thing and blah 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 blah. Now all of a sudden everyone's like, you know, all the wars in the foreign countries and shit. Now they've all suddenly grown a backbone. Now they all want to like speak truth to power and stuff. And suddenly, I mean, suddenly they found their voice. Suddenly they've all found their fucking voices. Suddenly they're standing up and saying things, saying the uncomfortable thing, going against the fucking narrative, not being one of the sheeps. It's like, it's too late. It's too late. It's too fucking late. And it's easy. And in my opinion, it's easy to do this now. It's easy to do this now when the whole MAGA thing is kind of falling apart. All the fucking Republican comedians are not really standing on it as much anymore. If anything, the only person that's really standing on their Republicanism or on their fucking conservatism is probably Joe Rogan, to be honest. Joe Rogan's the only one that's really standing on his like far right soapbox. Everyone else is kind of squirming away. Even Nick Fuentes. Even fucking Nick Fuentes is squirming away. They're all kind of squirming away. You know? They're all kind of hiding. They're all kind of changing their tone. Suddenly they're like sounding like they're fucking liberals. Suddenly they're sounding like they're Democrats. Suddenly they're trying to sound like they're socialists. It's like, it's too late for that now. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I really don't give a fuck. And I'm not even American. I don't even care about politics. But it kind of pisses me off. Even someone like Tim Dillon, who I love. You know how much I love Tim Dillon. I fucking pay for his fucking Patreon. That's how much I love him. But even him, I listened to him today. I was like, it's a bit stinky. I'm not going to lie, Tim. I like you, Tim, but it's a bit stinky. It's a little bit fucking stinky.
Why are we all afraid to say it? And I guess that's what the Mark Twain Prize for American Humor is. It's using humor to, you know, call out political leaders, but just to be like, oh yeah, okay, I wouldn't want to hurt the Kennedys' feelings, you know. God forbid one of the people that helped arrange Marilyn Monroe's puke perfectly so that it looked like an overdose, I wouldn't want them to be offended.
So Whitney's 100% right about this. The Mark Twain Prize exists specifically to honor comedians who use humor to criticize political leaders. That's the whole fucking point. The thing is, this ceremony is happening inside a building where Donald Trump sits as board chair, where the staff are telling comedians which jokes they're allowed to say at an event that's supposed to celebrate political satire. Like, bro, the irony is wild. And just to be clear about what's happened so far, this is her first episode after the ceremony, and she's talking about being told to cut a joke during the rehearsal. That's that Marilyn Monroe joke. She dropped that one before the show. The Trump stuck in traffic joke still actually got performed.
Big up Ryan Callen. I think they were definitely Republican. I think they were definitely Republicans. I think they were. I think, you remember during COVID, I think the left got a bit nutty. To be fair, I think the COVID thing probably made a lot of people Republican, to be fair. The left went a bit too nuts with COVID. The left went a little bit, because if it was up to a lot of these Democrats, especially in America, like you look at who's that one lady? What's her name? By the way, that lady, I feel like has she got a boyfriend or a husband or something? I forgot her name, but she's like a political pundit. She's like a political commentator person. She's like loves Hassan Piker. What's her fucking name? Forgot her name anyway, right? But people like that, she's still wearing a COVID mask to this day. She still wears a COVID mask to this day. So I think the left went a little bit too crazy during COVID and lockdown. They would still have us in lockdown right now if it was up to them. So I think they made a lot of like reasonable lefty leaning people turn Republican because of how loony they were being during COVID. So I think there was a time when they were actually being conservative, when they were truly conservative. I'm not going to lie. Especially when it comes to cancel culture, right? Being silenced and deplatformed and all this malarkey. Those things they would have kind of like, they would have definitely kind of got behind. I don't know. Yes, but like two things could be right. Two things could be right at the same time. Was it a grift? Yes. But were they also on it at that particular time because it served their needs, which is AKA, I guess, a grift? Yes. So I think both things can be true. It could be a grift and they could have actually been Republican for that particular moment in time only.
Formed on the night. Then
That's it. Taylor Lorenz. That's the one. Burt Reynolds. Thank you, Burt Reynolds. Taylor Lorenz. I feel like I haven't heard from her in a while. She got like a boyfriend or husband or something. She disappeared. She's always on social media. I wonder if she's actually got a boyfriend. That'd be fucking funny. I feel like I haven't seen her online like being annoying in a while.
After it was filmed, journalists reported it from inside the room, and at this point, she thinks it's still going to be in the Netflix broadcast. She even lets it slip on the podcast just there that it's in the special. But between this episode and the next one I'm about to show you, she gets told that the Trump traffic joke is also being pulled from the Netflix edit, and that's when things start to escalate.
The Mark Twain Prize, which we talked about last time, when I got back, not only did I have to cut a joke in rehearsal, then the joke I ended on Donald Trump couldn't make it tonight. He got caught in traffic. It stayed in, and then they said, we would like to cut it out. And I'm going to be very careful with how I say this because the people at the venue have been amazing. They don't want to silence anyone. Did
they all partly vote for Trump because of the whole like freedom of speech thing as well? Legalized comedy, right? Fucking Elon Musk, right? Didn't they all vote for fucking Trump because of this exact reason? Because he was the free speech absolutist. He said the uncomfortable thing, giving everybody fucking nicknames, teasing people, calling them names and shit. Now look at him.
True that their boss is Donald Trump. So they did their job. I was presented with a tricky conundrum. I just don't know if I did the right thing or not. They said, it was very clear to me that they would lose their job. The joke was already leaked by someone that was in the audience, journalist or something. It was already in People Magazine and Daily. It was already out. It's already out there. But then they said, we need to cut it from the broadcast. I'm like, well, it's already out there. Who cares? And they're like, he will sue you. Which is like, I don't buy it. I don't buy it, number one. Number two, he might. Because Bill Maher, I guess, said that he looked like an orangutan. Or he said Donald Trump's dad is an orangutan, allegedly. Trump sued him and won and proved that he's not, the child of an orangutan. He proved that his dad was a human. And like, I'm not being the bratty, like I should be able to make whatever jokes I want whenever I want because I'm a hero.
But you are kind of. I think this is the new grift as well, by the way. This is a new kind of angle. Like, I'm going to say the uncomfortable thing so that I can have, it's almost like a replay on the whole counterculture thing that everyone was doing when they were purposely saying the most wacky, when they were hoping they would get cancelled so they can get on Rogan. Remember that? Famously, Shane Gillis did the whole thing about that, right? He had that uncomfortable conversation with Rogan the first time he was on there after he made those agent jokes and got kicked off SNL. it kind of feels like they're doing this on purpose as well, a little bit, you know? They know like Trump's at his most sensitive, right? He's most thin-skinned. If anything involving him you speak about or you do, you know it's probably going to get attention, and it's probably going to not get the attention that you... It's not going to get positive attention from Trump. You know, Trump's probably not going to like it. He's going to say something negative about it. He's going to probably try to like silence it, squash it, stop it from coming out, so that you can then come out and sound like a hero. You know? I feel like it. I feel like it's a little bit like that.
I'm a comedian. I'm on the front lines. I don't care. It's like, it's great. Cut it. But this is the Mark Twain. This is the only time that you shouldn't get censored, because it is about comedians using humor to criticize our elected officials. So I was in this jam where I was like, I need to fight for this joke because it's the Mark Twain Prize, and this is the time I feel like I have to, but also I don't want anyone losing their job. But if it's just about him suing me, I was like, okay. I mean, I have to like fly to DC, which is kind of annoying. Like,
all right.
It is kind of, it like, just observational wise, it is really interesting how Whitney has like this thing where she doesn't feel like she's unhinged. Right? That's part of their beef between her and Ashley, right? It's like it's like a sibling thing. It's probably too long and detailed and really not our business to get involved in. But you can definitely tell from the outside in, at least, isn't it, right? That Whitney for sure feels like she's the one that's got it together. And Ashley's a crazy one. For some reason, right? She has this idea in her head like she's the one that's got it together. She's the one that's fucking chill. She's the one that's got it. You know what I mean? You can tell. But in reality, Whitney displays way more crazy tendencies, like actually crazy, like the way that she animates and hands and her face, like she actually looks and sounds way crazier than Ashley Cummings. Don't get me wrong, Ashley, you know, I love you and shit, you know. Ashley's a bright light. We all know that, right? Ashley, could big up Auntie Ashley. She's a fucking bright light. But it is really interesting how she has this really... Whitney has this really interest. She has like a very... I don't know. She doesn't see herself how we see her. That's what I'll leave it as. She does not see herself how we see her, but she definitely gives off a lot of crazy energy. Whitney Cummings, you know? Without a shadow of a doubt. She gives off a lot of proper, unhinged, crazy energy, but she doesn't feel like she is crazy, which is probably way scarier than like an Ashley Cummings, who I think is a little bit more in touch with who they are, knows what they're about, you know? This person doesn't. This person thinks they're one thing, but they're another, which is really scary. But hey, what do I know? None of my business. When it comes to sibling stuff, never get involved. Never get involved. None of your fucking business. Just observe from the outside in, because when they end up eventually getting good again, you're going to look fucking stupid for picking sides. So just leave them to it. But I just find it very interesting to observe from the outside looking in.
All right, guys, I'm not going to lie. I hate to admit this because you know how I feel about Whitney Cummings, but that joke's kind of funny, right? And yeah, sure, maybe there's a defamation angle, but she's posing as a comedian, performing at a comedy awards ceremony, doing comedy.
Big up Coyle. I'm not even going to give her the benefit of the doubt about the pill. I don't think it's the pill thing's only to blame. I just think she's really unhinged. Forget the pill thing. I don't think the pill, because I remember part of her charm when she was first on Rogan was all the fucking neurotic, like, self-awareness and, you know, armchair psychology, like it was all that stuff, you know, it was all of that fucking stuff. Like it really did kind of play a role into why I kind of liked her in the beginning, but it also kind of threw me up after a while because it was just too much. She had a lot of like Bert energy, a lot of like self-doubt, a lot of like, you know, whatever, just that whole constant need to have like a therapist. And we all kind of felt like we were a therapist at one point. And for someone like myself that's not really in touch with his emotions or feelings, it's a bit exhausting when someone else does it and they're always they're always doing it and looking for a soundboard, not even a soundboard, they're just looking for someone to just sit there and listen to them fucking rant and whine. I'm not with that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm never going to give her the crux of whatever or the excuse that it's a pills. No, I just think this lady generally has you know, some screws and wires loose.
The threshold for defamation in that context is way higher than someone making that same claim in a more serious setting. So there's definitely an issue with the fact that they pulled it, but you can already see her start to crash out here. She's reaching for the whole, I'm a comedian, I'm on the front lines, I'm the last bastion of free speech thing, and she's trying to frame it as being tongue-in-cheek, but you know she means that shit, right? It's a bit of the old, I'm not saying I'm a hero, but I'm kind of a hero. And
Go on, one more time.
no, she means that shit, right? It's a bit of the old, I'm not saying
Jesus Christ, bro. Come on, Wit. It's too much, bro. There's too much going on there. Come on, Wit. Come on. God damn.
I'm a hero, but I'm kind of a hero. And then she brings up Trump suing Bill Maher over the orangutan joke as if that proves she's in legal danger, except she got the story completely wrong. She says that Trump sued Maher and won, but he didn't win. He filed a $5 million lawsuit.
Yo, big up Ryan Davey as well. Big up Ryan Davey. The Vinny Jr. deal is not confirmed from what I last heard, unless a fucking Fabrizio Bomber dropped when I was out in the cinema. The Vinny Jr. deal has not been confirmed yet. He'll be an idiot to leave Real Madrid, in my personal opinion. He'll be a fucking idiot to leave Real Madrid to go to fucking Arsenal. The Vinny Jr. deal hasn't been confirmed just yet, so don't you count your fucking chickens, mate. But big up Ryan Davey.
Like in 2013, and then it quietly withdrew 8 weeks later because legal experts apparently said that he had no chance given it was obviously satirical. It was never refiled, and like I said, that was like 13 years ago. But let's be honest, guys, Whitney would absolutely shit herself if Trump actually sued her. She's trying to act all tough about it. Oh, the only downside is having to fly to DC, which her lawyers would go, not her, but that's beside the point. The point is, she had something. Both jokes were actually kind of funny. You know, the quick roasty one-liners that are meant to leave the room going, oh my God, did she really just say that? But instead of leaving it there, she turned a solid moment into a full-blown meltdown across multiple episodes. Oh man, these comedians just cannot help themselves.
I would win. I felt very strongly that I would win because I'm not accusing of anything underage. Traffic does... You can traffic women in their 50s. That's not right. So also, it's in Washington, D.C. There's a lot of traffic in D.C. The odds that, you know, because politicians live there, there's a lot of trafficking that happens in D.C.
Come on.
I'm sure it's sometimes in cars. Trump might just be stuck in the physical traffic. That is what I meant.
Explaining all the jokes.
I don't know what you guys are talking about. In D.C., you're stuck in traffic.
Okay, whatever.
All the time.
Cool.
It's DC. There's politicians and billionaires and weirdos. So there's probably some trafficking happening around you. You might not even know about it, but you're stuck in traffic. So we're all traffic. All physical traffic could technically be called traffic. So my point was he's just caught in the traffic of DC called traffic.
What?
Physical traffic could technically be called traffic.
What? Okay, I'm just gonna let her go. I just let me try. I'm just gonna let her go. What? Okay, whatever you say, girl. Whatever you say.
So my point was, he's just caught in the traffic of DC. I'm saying other people traffic, not him, and he's just stuck in it. Poor guy. Then we should have shot this in Florida, where at Mar-a-Lago he could have made it because he wouldn't have been caught in this traffic he has no part in. He's just like trying to get here. Wait, what are you guys talking about? Why are you getting defensive?
It's probably the same way that it was the worst thing ever to give the Mark Twain Award to fucking Bill Maher, because he's never not going to shut up about it. And it's just going to, make his ego whatever. It was also probably the worst idea ever to invite fucking Whitney Cummings to do it as well. I'm not going to lie. It's probably the worst idea ever to have Whitney Cummings there too. For someone that's already in her own head and conspiratorial and a little bit paro and a little bit crazy, it was probably the worst thing ever as well to kind of get her there as well, because now this is going to be a never-ending thing now, especially if her next special doesn't do well. Don't get me wrong. If her next special doesn't do well, you know who she's going to blame.
I am so clear now that when somebody gets offended by something, they are guilty of the thing. I just think it's a little weird that we can't joke about it.
This whole thing would have been so much funnier if she just stuck by the joke. Instead of owning it, she's sitting here trying to reverse engineer a legal defense for why she really just meant traffic in general or something. Yeah, that whole thing was manic. She's clearly scared, even though the joke's been pulled from the Netflix edit. She still said it on the night in front of Trump administration officials and a room full of journalists, and she knows that, right? And honestly, that's what separates the people who can do this from the people who can't. Ricky Gervais stood in front of the...
Anyway, I'm gonna leave it there. If you wanna watch the whole thing, watch it. But she's kind of boring. I'm not gonna lie. Whitney's kind of boring, again, which is a shame because she seemed at one point very interesting. She seemed to have a lot of really interesting points of view, ideas. Seemed quite funny and quick. Seemed like the quintessential girl that could hang with the man them, right? But now lately, she's just, I don't know. She's lost a lot of her sparkle, a lot of her allure is kind of gone, you know? Don't know who this person is, don't really care for this person. And yeah, man, I don't know. Boring story. In my opinion, a real non-issue. Like, I get it, you gotta make content, I get you gotta have something to talk about, but a real fucking mountain out of a molehill situation, I feel like this is. I don't even know why she even bothered covering it in her fucking show and getting her knickers and tits over. It's like, yeah, I guess you're being cancelled. I guess you're being cancelled, babe. I guess you're being cancelled. Cool, man. Whatever you say. Anyway, moving on. Let's quickly do Christina P stuff. So this is courtesy of Your Mum's House. Christina P and Tom Segura divorce update. Somebody said a few days ago that Christina P was actually in London. My bad, I actually didn't know this, but I probably wouldn't have gone anyway, but still. Christina P was in London. She did a show in London post Tom Segura divorce, or Tom Segura, I guess, filing for divorce from her. And according to this subreddit post on the Your Mum's House sub, she did address some of the things going on in her life right now, which, you know, might actually make for some good comedy, especially if she's really aggressively honest about it, you know, and very self-deprecating. It might actually make for some really fucking good comedy. It's gonna be brutal, right? She's probably gonna be in a fucking green room crying her eyes out post it, but if you're not a fan of her, you might end up being a fan of her post Tom Segura's divorce, because she might really get into it, you know, about how hard it is to like go through it, you know. Especially because it's not even like I said earlier or said in previous episodes, I get the feeling this isn't like they're divorcing because they no longer love each other. It's simply just Tom deciding he wants to fuck younger girls, you know, and he's simple as that, you know. And that's got to play tricks. That's got to be a little bit more of an interesting conundrum to deal with as a woman, you know. Because if the love fades and you both go your separate ways and you want different, cool. But one person just wakes up and think, you know what? I can get better if I wanted to. Why am I settling for this? And they just leave. Ooh, that's got to be weird. So yeah, let me hear what they have to say. Courtesy of the Your Mum's House subreddit. Anyone else curious about Christina's show tonight? Christina has a show in London in an hour just to keep thinking she's going to completely avoid the homosexual rumors. Or do her set like everything is fine. I was at the show, so this person. Christina was fucking amazing and did herself very proud. She did address it right away, and they are getting a divorce. Ari opened up for her. They all came out to meet the crowd at the end, and I gave Mommy a big hug and let her know I took my endometriosis to Disney World. Thanks for the update. I was curious if anyone would report back after the show, where her comments on the serious side or just able to joke about it. Seeing as she addressed it right away, I'm assuming she was just joking about it. Let's see this person update. She's going to eat a volunteer scrum. Was at the show and she crushed it. Opened right away with 5 minutes on the divorce. Kept going back to it throughout the hour. I love the material about parenting relationship. Just added shots and lines about it. Honestly, she seemed liberated. The show felt more intimate because she addressed it all head on. Even did some crowd work on it. I don't think she's. I think the whole liberated thing is probably just an act. It's a front because you want to appear strong. She's probably crushed, in my opinion. If I had to guess, again, I don't know nothing about the unless it comes out, which it may. It may come out later that they have been on the rocks for a long time, right? It may come out that they've been on the rocks for a long time. And even though Tom initiated it, they're both probably happy because, like, thank God someone did it, because we can't, you know what I mean? But I don't get that feeling. The clips that are coming out of late, they just show her being lovey-dovey and normal, and Tom being the one that's, you know, really playing into the bit of like not loving his wife, getting annoyed by her, wanting a new one. You know what I mean? I don't really see a lot of clips that show me that they were both kind of over each other, you know? I saw clips of obviously getting annoyed at Tom and some of his antics, but nothing that would suggest to me that, yeah, this woman does not like this man. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think the whole, like, you know, liberated thing is a bit of a copy. Feel like this sub is always underrated. Let's relax. No one's underrated Christina P as a comic. She's not that great, and people are going to be interested now because this is an interesting topic. Like, let's chill. Let's not do that. Oh, this we've been understood. No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't. No, she hasn't. No, she hasn't. Let's chill. Let her do her thing. Doing a show is probably where she feels more comfortable right now. Tension being on the act, not her personal life, and she's probably going good for her. Maybe she'll say something about herself. But anyway, it was like, again, not to be that guy, not to be like that guy, but let's not baby her as well. This is like a 50-year-old woman. Let's chill. I know it's a sad thing, and you know, but people get divorced every single day. People break up every fucking day. Let's relax as well a little bit. Let's all relax a little bit as well. Let's all fucking get her fucking tits out of her mouth. Like, let's all, myself included, everyone needs to fucking chill, you know? We have no idea what it's like behind the scenes between them. She could be fucking annoying. You never fucking know, you know? Tom could legit, like, imagine how much that would hurt. Imagine Tom's not even leaving because he wants to fuck like 19-year-olds. Imagine he's divorcing her simply because she's annoying. He just wants to be left alone. Imagine if he's just like, you know what? I want to be by myself. You are very annoying. I love the kids, but I do not want to be with you. I'm leaving so I can stop being with you. And you can stop annoying me. That would be really brutal. Hello, and it's a job. I went, she was excellent. Few bits about the divorce, but they weren't overly hostile. The open mic gag got a bit of a laugh. I felt it worked better for it. She's a top tier comedian. She really seemed effortless, even checking her notes. It really seemed effortless, even checking her notes. How could it seem effortless if you're checking her? I guess what they're trying to say is that even the way she checked her notes was effortless. I guess, which again doesn't make any sense. But anyway, a fair few empty seats, which surprised me. Why would it surprise you that there's empty seats for Christina P in London? Like, what? It's a 400 seat, a decent sized room, but surprised it wasn't full. Not sure if she was that well known in the UK. Of course she's not. Christina P's not that well known in the UK at all. I was surprised she was actually playing it. I'm not gonna lie. It kind of felt like it came out of nowhere, but maybe that was like one of those gigs that, you know, you take, and when it comes around, you're happy it does, right? Maybe she took that gig and probably forgot about it, and it comes around, you're like, oh my god, I could use a break. You know what I mean? But yeah, I think even a 400 capacity place for Christina P in the UK is a little bit much. 250 might be right. 200, you know what I mean? 400 capacity for her in the UK is crazy, but hey, what can you do? Not there, so 400 capacity, not there, then got a ticket as a show. I'm hoping she was a good show. Boom, boom. So yeah, she did some stuff on Tom, and she did some stuff on the divorce, and she touched on it lightly here and there, and yeah, it seems like she's in somewhat good spirits about things. She's not down in the dumps. She's still outside, still doing the groceries and everything else in between. But that is kind of mad, isn't it? I'm just thinking about it now. Like, it is kind of mad. The men's privilege is kind of insane. We can just leave at any time, isn't it? Because effectively, he's just left. Even though it's not true, even though this is not the case, I know it. So please forgive me for just being hyperbolic. But she essentially just said, you know, fuck them kids. If you think about it, she essentially said, fuck them kids. I'ma just do dad shit, you know? Like, fuck them kids. Like, day to day, you can do that. You can handle the day to day stuff, you know? The homeworks and all that shit, you know? The raising of the kids. It is kind of fucked up that we can just bounce in it, like when we want. It is kind of insane. Oh, Tommy's just like leaving her, Christina P. Like, again, not to get her tits in her mouth, but leaving her in her 50s with just like two, like what? Or in her, whatever she is, right? Early 40s. It's just, I think, no, she might be mid 40s, whatever she is. It's like, it's so cruel, man. It's so cruel. Oh, anyways, I don't know why that makes me laugh so much, but it is really fucking cool. Big up Christina P. Yeah. Okay. Last Christina P stuff with Tom Segura. This is courtesy of American Redact. She's about to expose him so hard. Big up American Redact. She's about to expose him so hard. Just say,
we're never getting a divorce, just so you know. Like you're in it. At least until our kids are grown. Not fucking happening, Segura. We're in it for life. You hear me?
So,
I am.
Also, being a guy that never got chicks before, 'cause I don't know if it's a thing, but I never really hear Tom. I know he's very different from Bert, but being a guy that never got that, I wonder what that does to your head too. 'Cause I haven't been there before. Imagine not being able to attract any women whatsoever, even though you're a fucking multi-millionaire stand-up comedian. Then you happen to attract one who doesn't mind you, you know? And then, yeah, you have kids with that person, you both become multi-millionaires, you build a fucking network, do you know what I mean? You employ people, all these great things happen. Then you just wake up one day, you're like, you know what? Nah. In a weird way, I have to salute. I've got to salute Tom, I swear. It's just so funny just waking up thinking, nah.
Not doing this to my kids, ever. You hear me?
So what do we do?
They're not
what do we do
becoming
if there's
stand-ups.
problems?
Pretend like we're not. Oh my God. Pretend like we're happy forever.
Well, you better start
20
eating my
years.
scrum.
Babe, I'm already getting implants. I'm already getting the chest tats, the neck tats.
So by now, you've probably seen the news that Tom Segura...
Yeah, big up Solid Seas. What's wrong with the fucking green screen? You guys always have something to say. What's wrong with the green screen? Come on now. What's wrong with the fucking green screen? What's wrong with the green screen? What's wrong? Am I fucking Hitler Youth because I use a green screen? Like, is that what we were saying? What is wrong with the green screen? Come on, you guys. I haven't even got the microphone set up properly. The microphone's a bit weird looking, but I might have to color balance and I might just change the color of it. But yeah, what's wrong with the fucking green screen? Come on, it's fucking harmless. Come on, guys.
and Christina P are officially getting a divorce, which of course came as a huge surprise to absolutely no one. I mean, what are the odds that the self-entitled multi-millionaire comedian who seems to be...
But I hate, again, small pet peeve, but I hate people do that. It comes up like, no one knew they were going to get, some people maybe like, you know, may have observed certain things and said one or two things here and there, but nobody assumed that they were going to get divorced anytime soon. Like, it was going to be breaking news. I hate this whole like revisionist history thing. Oh yeah, I knew. Did you know though? I never heard you talk about it once, but you knew. Oh yeah, honestly, it's so fucking annoying. Everyone, oh yeah, I knew. It was inevitable. Really, was it inevitable? What made you think that? Whatever. Okay.
Having a full-blown midlife crisis, decides to split from his wife and the mother of his 2 kids right after losing a bunch of weight and landing an Emmy nomination.
Right, by the way, just to finish that point about the weight thing, people don't know. So like I said, like, imagine how you must feel for Tom. Let's have sympathy for Tom. Let's have some empathy for Tom. Tom was always a bit of a, you know, not a bit of a very fat dude. But I know he went to travel around Europe and I think he studied in Madrid for a bit. So maybe he did get some girls, don't get me wrong. Those type of exchange things is literally impossible not to fucking hook up with somebody. But imagine he probably never actually was able to attract women that he actually was into. Just because of his size and just, you know, whatever else maybe. And now that he's finally, you know, maybe that's the whole point. Maybe it's like, you know what, I just can't resist. I must taste and must see what's out there, you know? Maybe that's what he's on, maybe.
Like, what a completely unpredictable and shocking turn of events. But being that neither of them have officially addressed it on their podcasts yet, since according to Christina, the podcasts currently coming out were filmed in advance, fans of the show have begun digging up old clips trying to figure out what may have led to their divorce. And surprise, surprise, folks, everything points to this most likely being Tom's fault. I mean, for starters, Tom's basically never at home. Like, he's essentially been doing his year-round comedy tour across the world for a super long time.
You know, there was a time when they did when they did what's the show called again? Two Bears, One Cave. I do remember in the early episodes of Two Bears, One Cave, Bert was the one that was never at home, and Tom was like calling him out, like, shit, like, are you for real? Like, this, how long are you going on tour? You're extending it. And the ongoing gag from Bert was he keeps adding more dates, he keeps adding more legs to the tour because it avoids him having to go home and, you know, whatever. And, you know, not be as fun. And I remember Tom making some comments about that. And then, of course, a few months or a few years later, it then switched to Tom being the one that was always busy. I guess maybe at that time, Bert was maybe getting booked more. I don't know. But I do remember there was a distinct time where it felt like, you know, they were out all the fucking time going somewhere, you know? So it's like, yeah, I fucking guess. That's probably got to be one of the weird things about being a comedian wife. When your comedian husband, whatever, is out, 1 minute it could be like money. Next minute it could legitimately be like a pull-up. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Which was clearly a huge issue with them that they were dealing with behind the scenes.
Okay, you have 2 kids. How old?
Yep. 6 and 4.
Okay, so this is like almost like abusive, right? How much he tours.
Yeah.
But it's not. That's the thing. Is it hard? It's probably too hard to wait, though, isn't it? Big up Keith. It's probably just too hard to wait. Tom is at what, 50? Probably Tom's 50, isn't it? 55 at least. If he waits another 5 years, his kids are gonna be what? Maybe 18. Another 3. Oh. And then time just keeps slipping by, you know. So I kind of get Tom. It's basically now or never. It's fucked up again, like I said, because he's got 2 kids under 10. But it is kind of, and I think one of them has got like special needs or something, you know, if I'm not mistaken. It's such a heartless thing to do. Again, I'm probably adding more fluff to a story that probably doesn't exist and not true. I don't know. But if it is actually true that they've got 2 kids under 10 and he's just leaving, and you know, one may have a disability or whatever, it's just like, I don't know. I don't fucking know. But let's see.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
And that's an issue. Is that an issue?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. And what will you talk about it?
Oh, on air on this show? No, but in private, yeah.
Yeah.
It's horrible. It's terrible.
Why don't you talk about it on the Okay, how old are the kids again?
4 and 6.
Oy.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Okay. 4 and 6.
You like your fucking life, Christina?
So Tom Segura constantly being out of the house while on his comedy tour was definitely a huge issue for them, but they were clearly making it work, since Christina tours a lot too, and they both have super busy schedules as comedians.
And it was funny too. It's not like I guess I know the money's obviously great from touring, but it's not as if like they're like, at least with Burr, the touring thing made, I don't know, it made some sort of monetary sense because it was his one time to make like a lot of money, you know? But these guys, I felt like, because they're both comedians, they're probably both on a decent salary. They probably both make quite a good amount. So you'd imagine doing the road the way Tom was doing it, that's not even necessary. Like going that hard on the road wasn't even that necessary because let's be honest, you know, why? Just why, you know? But he just did it, obviously now looking back, clearly did it because he didn't want to be at home. He wanted to be with somebody else or whatever it is the movie. Or whoever the person, I don't know if there is even a person.
Therefore, fans are starting to think that a bigger, more glaringly obvious reason as to why they may have split is actually pretty simple. Like Tom Segura, over the past year or so, has gotten in incredible shape and has been really trying hard to become like the next big...
Incredible shape. Let's chill on that one a little bit. We have fucking podcast Cringe, you know, sucking Whitney off, and now we've got, you know, My man doing this, I don't know. Maybe it's just like an editing thing. I'm not too sure, but yeah. Let's chill on that one. Let's chill on that one. Okay, let's continue.
Big comedy movie star, I guess. Like, it seems like this guy truly wants to be the next Will Ferrell at the ripe age of 47. So he's somehow become even more...
Oh shit, he's not even in his 50s. My bad. My bad, Tom. I didn't know about your game. He's not even in his 50s yet. He's 47, allegedly. Allegedly, Tom Segura is 47 years old.
Self-absorbed than he already was, as he's really trying to become the actor that he's always wanted to be. And he's admitted that this has been his biggest dream all along. Like, when he first moved to Los Angeles, he actually didn't want to pursue stand-up comedy at all.
Sometimes you have to remind yourself, like, of what your dream, like your original dream, you know? And my dream when I moved to LA had nothing to do with...
When guys start talking about stuff like this, you know it's over, isn't it? You know it's over when a guy starts talking, when a guy starts taking stuff out like this. You know it's fucking over.
Stand-up. I never thought of stand-up. Not to say that I don't love doing stand-up today. I'm in love with stand-up. But I moved to LA because I was like, oh, I want to do movies.
So being that Tom was recently nominated for an Emmy, which he of course submitted the $300 submission for by himself, I think it's safe to assume now that Tom Segura is the most insufferable, egotistical version of himself. I mean, this guy is really LARPing as some sort of struggling artist these days. And he even has an entire Instagram page dedicated to his quote-unquote photography, which is of course filled with some of the worst shots imaginable. I mean,
pretty shit. Pretty mediocre though. Tommy F's up is fucking crazy. Very, very mediocre. Well, not even being mediocre, just a bit, you know. It's a bit meh. You know, it's a bit meh. It's a bit meh. But yeah. Honestly, for a woman, it's got to be for a woman seeing a man like start working out and then start puking, and then that puke it turns into some sort of thing. I don't know, like absolutely wild. Absolutely wild. Big up Tom. Secret fun. What, Finster, right? Just for the photography. Just for the photography whores, you know?
I mean, this dude really bought a $20,000 camera and thought that that qualified him as a professional photographer. So when you combine that with the fact that he's totally slimmed down, you can kind of see how his life just totally revolves around himself, even more so than before.
The most I ever weighed was 265.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
And what are you now?
187.
That's insane.
Yeah, so that's like, what, 80 pounds? I feel so much better. I feel so much better.
Of course.
I'm lifting 4 days a week.
Wow.
The other difference, the big difference, is that I've been...
Is he ever going to talk about Ozempic? He's going to make it seem like he lost it all naturally.
I dialed in, not with croissants, but I've dialed in my nutrition a lot more. Like, I eat 4 times a day now. And I'm on top of my macros. You know what I mean? Things I've never done before.
Why do you eat 4 times a day?
This nutritionist just gave me this plan, and I've been just doing it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I eat 50 grams of protein at each of those 4 different meals.
Like, this dude probably eats all his meals by himself and probably even turned down the family dinners the rare times that he'd be at home with his family in order to achieve this Joe Rogan TRT peptide.
And I'd imagine as well Christina wasn't happy about that. I'd imagine Christina wasn't too happy about that, you know? Wasn't too happy about that. Like, gone again.
Physique. So by all means, this dude probably sees his trajectory in Hollywood and now wants to chase around the 20-something-year-old OF models instead of honorably being a married man. Like, nothing really screams midlife crisis more than a picture of skinny Tom Segura in 2026. So when you combine that with him never being home, a lot...
Again, I just think most men don't get a lot of male attention. Most men don't get a lot of female attention, right? Most men, especially if you look like Tom used to look. So then when you suddenly get skinny, I think guys are, or this American Redact is really underplaying, is really minimizing how much of a brain fuck it must be to finally to be Tom, and then be walking down Walmart or going to the juice bar or wherever he goes to and seeing people make comments. Seeing a girl turn around, somebody hold eye contact or smile. That sort of shit will gas you up to no holds bail, you know? So I don't know. I think there's not enough respect given to that side of things. Like, yeah, bit rough, bit fucked up, but hey, it'll get there eventually. It will get there. We know. Well, okay. Push, push, push. Let's continue. A few more minutes. Big up everybody tuning in, by the way. Smash like and subscribe. Smash like and subscribe if you're loving what you're seeing what you're loving.
Tom Segura in 2026. So when you combine that with him never being home, a lot of people actually speculate that Tom's been cheating on Christina P for a very long time. Of course, these are just theories made by fans desperately waiting for Christina to break her silence and expose Tom on her podcast, but it is awfully suspicious how...
Don't do that, by the way, Christina P. You still got kids with this guy. Don't do that. Unnecessary. You still got kids with him. It's unnecessary to that damage. It's very, very unnecessary. So I wouldn't do anything more. Don't do anything more. Jesus Christ. Okay, let's continue.
Even his own best friend, Bert Kreischer, thought that Tom was cheating on Christina way back in 2023, which came after Tom didn't show up at the premiere of Bert's big movie, The Machine. Like, that was super out of character of Tom.
Also, Bert Kreischer's got a fucking big mouth, man. Shut the fuck up.
And it led Bert to think about how he might actually be cheating on his wife.
Tommy, dude, can I tell you the move of the year?
Give me the move.
So, Tom doesn't reply. Hey, man, are you going to make it to the premiere? Please tell me you're making it to the premiere. No reply. I then call him, and he's like, hey, man, I can't make it. And I go, and I told Rogan, Tom's cheating on Christina. I was like, something's going on, man. Like, he was acting so fucking weird.
Yeah.
Because it's just off. It's out of character, out of integrity from him.
Yeah.
And so I was talking to Rogan the other night, and he's like, how's everything going? You know, Rogan sometimes can get that inside vibe from you.
Yeah.
I go, something's going on with Tommy. He goes, wait, what's going on? I said, I don't know, man. I can't track it, but he's not coming to my premiere. And Rogan's like, whoa. He's not coming to your premiere? And I was like, dude. And then you know how, like, sometimes you sell your buddies under the bus? I was like, he was in Europe for 40 days. He only had like 10 shows. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And then he's like, wait, what do you think's going on? I go, I think he's cheating on Christina.
He's got a wife over there now.
Yeah, and
he's
then
got that
like,
Swedish wife.
And then he's like, and I go, he's looking good. He's in great shape. He's wearing Gucci everywhere. He's got Rolexes, Porsches.
He smells different.
I would but to be fair to Bert, Tom also is the one that jokes about himself as well. Do you know what I mean? To be fair to Bert, Tom also jokes about this sort of stuff. So, you know, you can't really blame him too much for like spilling all the DLs and shit, but it's still a little bit stinky.
Been on Christina if that happened.
So if this were true, then that would totally be grounds for divorce if Christina found out. But I guess we'll just have to wait for that podcast to come out. Until then, that whole thing about Tom cheating is just speculation. And by all means, it could totally be false. What's a little more clear than that, though, is how Tom's always seemed fine about the thought of getting a divorce with Christina. Like, he's been asked a bunch of different times on a slew of different podcasts if he'd be shaken up if they ever got a divorce. And every time he answered, he was just so nonchalant about the whole thing. So much so that you could almost tell that he probably wanted the divorce deep down.
Well, I have a question from the sound booth.
Okay.
If Christina died, what would your move be?
What would my move be?
Like, what would you do?
He got so excited. It still makes me laugh to this day. He got so excited when she asked that. I think he misinterpreted it. He thought she meant what your move be on me. For a split second. Yeah. For a split second, he got nervous there.
Enjoy my life. I don't know, like
it's not that funny.
I feel like when
look what money does to you. I know she's a giggly person anyway, but look what money does to you. Look what money and some status does. God damn.
I date someone and I'm really in love, I think I would just I don't know. I don't know what I would do.
you get over it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you. No, I mean,
Bert slept with Christina.
Wow, he did.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
If that happened, what would you do?
Oh my God.
No, but what would you do?
Great.
No, that wouldn't be your first reaction.
Probably.
It would be like, you'd be confusion first. Let's go through the feelings. Right?
Confusion would be
Confusion
would be
first.
Yeah,
that'd be
confusion
probably
first, right?
Yeah, confusion.
Panic.
I just don't think anyone was caught by surprise by the news of this divorce. I mean, Tom's been pretty checked out for a while now, so this was really just a matter of time. But with that being said, I just think it's crazy how even the comedians that they surrounded themselves with saw this coming from a mile away as well. I mean, Tom's just never around, and when he did see Christina, a lot of their interactions were work-related, which obviously is a recipe for disaster. Like owning and working in a business with your spouse is just a ticking time bomb waiting to explode.
It's exciting to be here, and I look at you guys as this couple that are doing this together. I guess my first question is, when's the divorce? When's that happening?
I know.
Like
God.
it's one of those things where you love each other because you appreciate each other's talents.
Right.
But, it reaches a time where you're like, you know what, we should probably get divorced or I'm going to murder you.
Jesus,
right?
We do too much together.
It's taxing on a relationship.
Every day, Jim.
But what's more important, your relationship or the show? Obviously the show.
The show.
But
But before some of you make the comment, yes, he is a comedian and he is half joking in all these clips. But now that they're literally divorced, hopefully you guys can see that when these comedians are joking on their podcasts, that there is an underlying truth to it all. But just because they're making jokes doesn't mean the jokes are 100% false.
If you're, my idea for you, I'm not your business manager.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think your divorce should be pay-per-view. And it feel like we all know it's coming, right? We wish you both well.
No. He's got it. Go.
Tom.
What? just
no, but that thing of I genuinely think
he's
it could
so
be great.
smart. Let him talk.
But that.
And obviously in this day and age, divorce is a super common thing. I mean, roughly half of the marriages in the United States alone end in divorce. But regardless of how normal it is, guys, this sure is just a downright horrible look for Tom Segura. Like after Christina was diagnosed with breast cancer and had to go through multiple surgeries to beat that, Tom wound up leaving her anyway as soon as he dropped weight and touched a lick of success in Hollywood. Like this guy truly looks like a scumbag with what's available online. But again, Tom being a scumbag isn't really a new thing. Like ever since he made a buttload of money with his podcast empire, YMH Studios, and after he saw his career explode on the back of Joe Rogan's podcast, this dude just became a massive prick and would literally trash his fan base for being too poor to even understand him. Like he literally called them all unemployed and poor on Twitter after they simply pointed out that him becoming rich and fit changed him for the worse. Then he ultimately got so heated about this that he ended up going on this really long rant on Two Bears One Cave about how all his poor fans just need to change their mindset in order to become rich.
And definitely all your watches that don't fit, bring those over too. Any car you can't fit in.
Can I just say this real quick?
Yeah.
Every time we talk about like a...
It's curious how it will affect Bert though. I'm going to leave it there now. I'll let you watch the whole thing yourselves if you're that way inclined. But it is going to be interesting how it's going to affect Bert. It's going to be interesting how it's going to affect Bert. Your best friend getting divorced and you, oof, it's going to be interesting to see how it affects Bert. It's going to be very interesting how it affects Bert. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how it affects Bert and whether or not we'll see both of them just get divorces and just start doing guy things, together, sleeping in the woods and shit. Hunting. It'll be really interesting to happen. I doubt it, very, very much doubt it, but it would be fun if it did happen.
Watch or a car, I'll get a bunch of messages from losers that try to tell me that I'm making them feel bad about their situation. You're in control of your own situation and your own feelings. So don't put it on me that you feel bad that I have something that, but I'm struggling with rent this month. Figure it the fuck out, okay? Like, don't make my life be a problem for your life.
I don't know where this came from, man. This is such a weird rant. This is so unhinged. Like, looking back, it still doesn't make much sense. Like, it's so odd. Like, it's one thing if you're like, I don't know. You're like a streamer that talks. I don't know, like a DSP. It just felt strange. Like, it's suddenly like. It was the reaction was so crazy based on what was said to him. It was like, I don't think the guy was creepy. I mean, it's probably obviously playing. I don't know. I have no idea what they're gonna do here. No idea. Yeah, let's continue.
But it's just so funny how the younger, fatter, and funnier.
Let's leave it there. You guys can watch the rest of it yourself if you're that way inclined. Big up American Redact, that was brilliant. Big up American Redact, that was brilliant. But yeah, let's see how it plays out. But like I said, I'm curious to see what happens with Bert medium to long term, because he probably just feel left out with all the stories Tom's gonna be talking about, going out, do this, whatever. But I also don't think Leanne will let Bert get away with what Leanne has probably did and just refuses to get involved in, you know. So Bert probably still be watched like with a helicopter way more than motherfucking she will. So, you know, it is what it is. Let's see how it plays out for them. Big up in the stream chat tuning in. I appreciate you all. If it's your first time, smash like and subscribe. If it's your first time, smashy likey, subscribe, okay? I appreciate you all. I appreciate you greatly. Okay, cool. Let's go for some tea. Let's go for some clips in general, actually. Not TFATK. Let's go for some clips in general. So, oh, my head feels so good to scratch it sometimes. Cool. Let's do Brendan Schaub says super. Somebody correct Brendan about the way he pronounces super bar, right? And he goes on a bit of an unhinged, I think somewhat funny response. I'm not gonna lie. His response was quite funny, you know, without probably trying to be funny. I'm not going to lie. So somebody corrects Brendan in the chat, and obviously, you know, Brendan, much like a lot of very popular narcissists out there, doesn't like being corrected. So yeah, he wasn't too happy about that, and then the inconvenience that would cause. But let's hear about it anyway. Oh, not today, cool. But we'll definitely hear about it at some point. Jesus Christ. All right, cool. Let's hear Brendan say Super Bowl instead of Super Bowl. Big up Brendan. Let's hear it.
Andrew says, I'm a big fan. I love your work, but Super Bowl, not Super Ball. That's whatever the fuck I say at the time, bud. Andrew says, I'm a big fan. I love your work, but Super Bowl, not Super Ball. That's whatever the fuck I say at the time, bud.
Yeah. Interesting response, isn't it? Interesting response. Number one, he picked it out in the first place and responded to it. Number two, the pure intellectual, I guess, like ignorance, like just the like it's kind of infuriating how smart he thinks he is when he's actually really dumb. But also it's really infuriating how proudly dumb he like acts and behaves. You know? Like no real effort is ever made to do anything correct or to, like, you know, come across a certain way or to make sure your ideas and your comments and whatever are getting shared in the right way or said. I don't know, it's always just like whatever can type. It's like, no, you gotta do more, man. Come on, do more. But it's also kind of embarrassing, this just in general, because he's meant to be this big former NFL guy, right? He's meant to be. He's not really, obviously. The results are written. All the kind of real people online are like, yeah, he's not, you know, he was never in fucking Navy SEALs or whatever. So the whole helmet thing is really fucking ridiculous, right? But it's also kind of funny. I'm not gonna lie. It's also kind of funny to jump on a line with a motorbike and okay, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I did find this kind of a funny response. I'm not going to lie. Something a child would do. Don't get me wrong. I just see representation there. It's something that an actual, literal child can do. So chill. Gotta chill. You gotta fucking chill. Big up Brendan. Oh, cool. Bryan Callen being a Debbie Downer about his life and career from TFATK episode number 1207. Now, in this particular one, I don't know what to make of these things from Bryan. I'm not gonna lie, I don't know what to make of it, because I'm sat here thinking to myself, like, you've had a pretty decent career. Like, why are you complaining? why are you still whining and moaning? Like, why aren't you trying to make it right? Or maybe he is, I'm not too sure. Why aren't you just accepting the fact that what you got accused of, even if it's alleged, was super crazy? And given your age, given your lack of like making it in Hollywood, you probably should have done more to fight them when they originally came out. But now so much time has elapsed and people have just generally moved on. Not even moved on in terms of, oh, cancel culture is no longer a thing. No, people have just moved on with life in general and probably don't even recognize or know who the fuck I am or you are. But they're gonna try, you know? And this particular clip, I don't know, I just sat thinking to myself like, is it me or does he just sound a little bit entitled and just generally a little bit unaware of life in I don't know, just seems a little bit like, come on, man, like what? Like, what is going on right now? Why are you still crying? You've had a great career. Like, things move on. Adapt, you know? But it doesn't mean it's gonna last the same forever and ever. Like, it's okay, it's perfectly okay. God damn, man. Anyway, what can you do? Let's play the clip. Bryan Callen being a Debbie Downer about his life and career.
In certain industries, certainly to that level, which is, well, that's peak, right? You're the most powerful man in the world. I don't think you get to the top of being that level of government without being a bit of a...
You got to be a formidable motherfucker across the board.
There's just not really any way to do it, right?
No. He was special. And you know, what's funny though about Schwarzenegger or anybody is when you can...
Yeah, big up 101 Krieger. Maybe check that out next. I don't know what exactly happened though. Maybe I've got to check out video to see what exactly happened. What exactly happened? Like, why did someone try to citizen arrest Clavicular? I don't understand it. Like, what's going on there? But the lack of fighting skills is just, I don't know. I maybe it's just because, maybe we've all got different respect for like martial arts or people that just fight. I just don't understand people who go out their way to get into like arguments, to get into physical altercations that may lead to like street fights, but they can't fight. I really don't understand that. I really don't get people who like, because at one point these guys, you remember, people in the stream chat, do you remember? There was a point back in the day when Brendan and Bryan used to brag about the amount of fights they got into. They used to actually boast about getting into street fights. Two fairly, I would say, privileged white males who've grown up in nice houses with loving families. Like why do you have to? Who are you fighting? Like, who are you fighting? But yeah, that was a show of sign of their masculinity at one point, being fighters. I don't know if that's the case, and you're a fighter. Try fight more for your career. Stop bitching and moaning. God damn.
Of all that success, it does eventually stop. The music stops. Everything stops. And
if you're not okay with yourself, that can be brutal.
It's well, and I was thinking about,
is it brutal though? Is it just your time? Like, I you know what I think has happened now, because maybe it's too much this, and maybe it's because I watch too many locales and I'm very attuned to certain things. I just like, for instance, DSP, right? I fucking hate that guy, and eventually, hopefully, at one point, he'll get deplatformed from YouTube or whatever, and you'll be fucking gone. But I don't think people like that actually think it's ever gonna end. I don't think DSP ever thinks there's gonna come a point where no one's ever gonna give him money. I think some of these guys just think it's going to last forever. The gravy train will never stop running. So that's probably the truth of it. The truth of it is that at the point where they were kicking ass, at the point where TFATK was one of the biggest podcasts out and had all these great guests and they had all these fucking parts of the show and these competitions, all this malarkey and rate my drip aunt, whatever nonsense that was coming out the computer, all this shit, right? I just think they never really thought it was going to end. I think they always thought they were going to be right in the belly of the beast when it comes to Rogan. They were going to be there, lockstep and do you know what I mean? Lockstep and right, like they just thought that was it. Like, found my people. You know what I mean? We like to pod. We like to do crazy things at parties and shit. I don't know. I don't think they ever thought it was going to end. And now they're having to kind of come to grips with it ending.
about that too. Like, you can live a good long life. but you're ultimately going to say goodbye to this avatar.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to say goodbye to this avatar. You're going to say goodbye to this thing that this thing that I work on, that I try to preserve. I do jujitsu so I can teach my son, and we wrestle, and then I want to be 60 but able to.
What again? Like the masculinity thing in America is so interesting to me. The whole Platboy Mac thing is a good example of it, right? Platboy Mac's just getting like grilled and bullied and just teased relentlessly because he decided to get diva on his ribs, or decided to wear wigs a couple of times. I don't know, it's just like masculinity in America is strange. It's a wild thing. It really is interesting how they act over there. You know, the need to just be like a fire and to be rough just so you can avoid feeling any of the gay stuff. You know what I mean? It's so unnecessary. Like, what? I don't want to, like, what? Like, I just don't get it. I really don't get it. I really fucking don't get it. Right? Here we are. Here we are. Who's that? Okay. Back to Callen. Honestly, he's depressing me already. Back to Callen again. What you guys saying on stream? Every time this guy closes club session, Capelwood looking rough. He really finna what? Big up. He finally realized he's old. Again, all of this, right? In my opinion, going back to why I know I keep going over the same points. Please forgive me. But going back, even if all this was true, the muted does stop and it's scary, all this malarkey. Why not? Why didn't they make more of an effort in the beginning then? Like, what? Even if that is the case, why not make more of an effort and defend yourself when the allegations first come to light? What the fuck, man? If you know what you had to sacrifice, you know the blood and sweat and tears you put into auditions and doing this and doing that and reads, and you finally get a foot in the door and you're just like, what? You don't address it? You hope it just goes away? And then when it doesn't go away and, you know, doors are enclosed in your fucking face on purpose because you know X, Y, and Z person. Yeah, it must hurt. I'm sure it does. I'm sure it freaking does. But yeah, you know. So bloody what?
Fight somebody. You know, I like that I can grab a 21-year-old kid now who doesn't know what he's doing and fuck
his ass.
You know what I mean? Do
Right?
whatever I want to him. No, wait, hold on.
Right?
What? No, that's not what I was going to.
I really hope when I'm that age, I'm not thinking like this. I really hope when I'm Bryan Callen's age, I'm 60 years old, I'm not thinking to myself, yeah, I'm practicing X, Y, and Z so I can beat up 20-year-olds. Like, what? I want to be that guy. It's like, bro, we've seen what he's like in physical or like higher pressure situations, you know? Like, we've seen, he just leaves, he just fucking runs away, and now he's trying to act like he's this big fire guy having to fucking tame his own beast. Like, shut up. Defend yourself against a rape allegation to deserve all this nonsense.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
I was going to say kick his ass.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, not
my bad.
Kick his ass.
Rewind.
Fuck his ass. Yeah, you got to say kick. Yeah. Okay. Why do you have a boner?
Lick his ass.
Big up my Capwood, by the way, trying to make it funny. That was a nice effort. I'm not gonna lie. Trying to lighten the mood and not allow Bryan to go on one of his fucking, you know, crusades and long combats. Like, no. I'm really, really happy that it wasn't the case. Like, fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but you're going to say goodbye to this. It all goes away. And I think about that too. I was thinking about that. That's a really good practice. Like, just practice observing this cloud of sensation that needs food, that needs validation, that needs love and warmth and all that. Just practice observing, and then realize that observer is going to watch this thing burn away.
What?
It's hard to do, and I actually went through this the other day, or I really had like kind of an existential funk about it, because I was talking to these young men, college age kids, and they actually went to UT. They were college kids, boys, and they were talking about how three of the five of them didn't have licenses, and they didn't have any desire to drive cars. And I was talking to a different species. I was like, what do you mean? I was so obsessive about.
That's a little weirder in America. I'm not going to lie. That's a little weird. It's a lot weirder in America. I think in the UK, in London specifically, you can get away with it your whole life not having a car. You can get away with it your whole fucking life not having a car at all. Maybe having a license is important, so you can obviously rent one if you need one or whatever. But I think in America, most states, given how big they are, the roads and shit, it is pretty weird how kids don't have car, have licenses or have no desire to drive. It's like, what? You're supposed to have parents to pay for your Uber? But then you just do the classic kind of like, blackmail or like whatever, manipulation where you just say, you're meant to come home early, you may as well give me money for an Uber, that sort of nonsense. Which then obviously goes, into the Hoover.
Girls and independence and free. And they said, no, we have the apps. And I would go, what do you guys going to parties this weekend? And I'm like, nah, we don't. And I was so quick to judge them, right? But then I took time to really think about being 19, 20 years old and how confused and scared about everything you were. Like if you had apps where you could talk to girls and just hang out with your buddies and play PlayStation and smoke weed and that's how you live, you would absolutely do the same thing. And if you had Uber and you didn't have to worry about drinking and driving, you would absolutely do this. Like why? And I just observed, as opposed to, like you said, I just observed how I was thinking and feeling and thought, and I stepped back. And
yeah, I've seen because I follow a bunch of people online. Big up Jack Donny Jr. It's probably cheaper to pay for kids Ubers than buy them a car. Yeah, that's the thing. I've like, I don't know. I've seen this thing online. First thing I want to talk about cars. Why is it like no one like is into like used cars? Am I the only person that doesn't mind used cars? I'm looking online for like Volkswagen Golfs, like from what Mark 3 to Mark 6s and shit. I'm looking at 2006 BMW X5s, Renault 205s from like, again, the early 2000s, Ford. Do you know what I mean? There's so many great cars from back in the day. Mercedes CLS Coupe from that era too. But people nowadays don't like driving older cars. They like driving newer cars. They like getting leases on those newest cars and paying crazy finance rates, So there is a strange... The car thing is a bit odd. The car buying world is a bit strange nowadays. You don't really see that many people in used cars, in cool used cars. Everyone's like, got the cutest fucking car or looks in the world. So there's that. And then the other thing about the other thing about cars as well, I follow a bunch of YouTubers who are into like Porsche 911s and GT3 RS. It's all that malarkey. And all of those people are saying that, number one, they're really hard to get a hold of, and the ones that do go on the secondary market are being bumped up to high heavens and still selling. So yeah, it's just a weird place in general, It's just a weird fucking place. That's what it is when it comes. But yeah, again, hope when I'm this age, I'm not thinking about this sort of shit. Hope I'm just thinking about my family, my friends. You know what I mean? Hope I'm not fucking pontificating about what fucking 20-year-olds are doing. Like, who the fuck cares? Just 60, Bryan Callen, just 60. And Cathwood, you're probably not too far off either.
And I think you're right. It's very hard to do. But if you do take the time to kind of unplug, and distraction has never been so awesome. We have such the access to such amazing distraction.
Yo, big up, everyone. Love to hear it, brother. I drive a 01 Lexus. Oh yeah, those Lexus, is that the LS whatever from back in the day that everyone used to drive? Those ones are fucking cool. I mean, I had a couple of guys in my area had the silver ones with like the yellow headlights? They look like kind of cat's eyes. Oh, such a nice car. Such a fucking nice car. Big up the Lexuses. It's a shame the newer ones look so bad compared to the older ones. I feel like the newer Lexus designs are horrendous compared to what they used to look like, man. Oh, god damn.
Action all the time. If you take yourself away from it, even for a moment, you realize like how much stuff really doesn't matter that we worry about, and how much stuff that we should worry about that we don't pay enough mind to. And you're right, dude. You're gonna die. Not only am I gonna die someday, I'm actually not gonna be able to do all this fun stuff that I think is so important. Probably a lot sooner than before I die.
Yeah.
I remember Louis C.K. telling the story about trying to cast Jack Nicholson in a movie. He really wanted Jack Nicholson, but he had already kind of tacitly announced that he wasn't going to act anymore. But Louis felt like he wrote this role for, and he told this amazing story. He's like, well, he'll have a meeting with you. So he flies out to wherever, one of Jack Nicholson's many homes, I'm sure. And he's talking to him and he gives him the pitch. Jack Nicholson says, you know, later today, I'm going to take a nap. And after I take a nap, you see that tree over there? I'm just going to walk underneath it. I'm going to stand there and look at the sunrise. And I'm going to think to myself, yeah, that's nice. Maybe I'll have something to eat. And so if I do your movie, I'm not going to be able to do any of that because I'm going to have to start thinking about other stuff. And Louis C.K. was like blown away because he's like, he doesn't need the money. He doesn't need the attention. He's gotten to the point. He's like, I need to just focus on
this.
That's
right.
And it was
something he's never really had a time to do either. Like he's never really. I talked to Dennis Miller. I did his show, and he
come do my show, babe.
He was hosting for Larry King Live, and I said, "What are you going to do?" And he goes, "I'm going to get out and I'm going to go to Europe and stuff." He goes, I'm 65 or whatever he was. He goes, I haven't done anything. I've been on the inside of a studio. I haven't seen the world.
Yeah.
In Brian's case, he's been inside of a fucking jail cell.
I go out there and see like the things I haven't seen. I've been working, and and by the way, when you're in Hollywood and that's all you've done, man, it's not great.
No, people misunderstand that, and I
guess he's talking to himself right here. Bryan Callen's definitely talking to himself. I haven't done much. All I've done is trying to work and trying to make it, which he obviously was. If you remember the law about TFATK and how they started it early on, Bryan used to miss so many shows. He just simply not turn up, and a lot of the reason why he was doing that is because he was still doing auditions, still trying to make it in Hollywood and be this comedic actor and hit those heady heights. And it never quite happened for him. It never quite happened for him. Which again is kind of, sad considering how easily Hulk was able to destroy that and shit. But hey, what do I know?
Misunderstood that and took some real studs to set me straight. And because you want it so bad, I'm sure when you're a young man, you're dreaming of growing and being a performer. Like I'm a failed rock star. I always dreamed of like being Trent Reznor or being Chris Cornell or something, And then I fell into an industry where I got to bump elbows with those guys.
Yeah.
So I wasn't a performer in that regard, but I was working at the most important rock radio station. That's not
Chris
even really,
Cornell, and it wasn't enough for Chris Cornell.
It wasn't an argument. Like I was at the time in terrestrial radio. That was the most powerful play. It was MTV and K-Rock LA was the most kind of
and you were
biggest
around all
movement
those
shaker.
guys.
And so I got a chance to not only to be around them, but then like off the air or at like these concert festivals, I'd see Tom DeLonge backstage and I'd be like, hey dude, what's up? And he's like, hey Mike. And it was I felt very fortunate. I'd get, and having.
The thing with Bryan though, he doesn't have a backup plan. He never did. Bryan always wanted to make it as a comedic actor. I don't think he ever had a backup plan. And again, can you blame him a bit? I don't know if this is fair. Can you even blame him for not having one? The way they both, him and Brendan, just lucked out in the craziest way possible. The Rogan friendship, starting the podcast when they started it. The LA comedy scene, they lucked out in so many ways that probably gave every single one of those comedians a very kind of like, dwarfed, whatever image of who they really were, It really skewed and fucked with who they really actually are when you look at it in the cold light of day. It's like, I don't think it's cute or whatever. It's just annoying. Like, leave people alone. Hey, what do I know?
People say like, I've toured the world 14 times. He's like, I haven't seen anything though. Yeah. He's like being in a bus or being on a plane. It's cool and packing arenas. I love that. I wanted to do it since
Bryan Callen wants to pack arenas so bad. Bryan Callen wants to be in the theater so bad. But again, I'd love to see who the 1,000+ Bryan Callen fans who fucking even buy a ticket. Maybe there are some people actually. To be fair, maybe there are a lot of people that will just buy a ticket just to support. But I don't know if there are even 100 Bryan Callen fans out there to even justify this. Like, oh, I want to be on Netflix. I want to be doing this. I'm crying out my. It's like, bro, even if you were given these things, where are these fans? Where are these fans to enjoy these things? Where are they?
I was a little kid, but I want to go live. Like I'm not living.
Like so, because I speak a little French. Thank you. I remember being 22, 23. and I had some French friends in DC, and I'm hanging out in Paris with my friends, playing soccer with a tiny ball in the fucking piazza.
Yeah.
Laughing, drinking, going to a bar, drinking too much, having sex with some beautiful French girl because I met her and she like.
I was gonna say, like, I wonder if he's gonna mention sex. I wonder if he's going to like leave it, or if he's gonna like start reminiscing about. Again, you're 60 years old, reminiscing about stuff happened to you in your 20s. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Maybe Callen just has a problem with just letting things go and moving on. Maybe it's just like something that just persists in his life. Maybe he's just always been that guy that's always wanted the moment to never. Maybe he's a lot like Bert in that way. He probably will never admit it, but maybe he's a lot like Bert in that way, where he just wants it to be perpetually just a fun day. Every day is a fun day, you know? Maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's fucking part of it. Who knows?
Like my accent
French girl?
was whatever.
Mm.
Yes.
Who's
French guy. Maybe it was a French guy.
Okay.
Who knows when I was younger, you know what I mean?
Right,
It's
sure.
college
It
shit.
is
Long hair, big tits, huge dick.
Again, you're 60 years old and you're married and your second family, and here you are reminiscing and talking about some random fucking hostel thought or whatever, right? That you fucking ran through. It's like, God damn it. Be a little bit less, obvious.
And and you're doing that, so those are the memories, man. It's actually not working on a set.
Yeah.
It's really not.
Don't get me wrong,
It's
I mean,
the
it's
shit
amazing.
of going to like my friend's wedding in Saint-Tropez and just all that unfolded from that. Or
what unfolded? Please tell us, bro. Please tell us what happened at the Saint-Tropez Diddy Epstein party. Again, like, imagine if it's just like an all consensual freak off shit. Bro, you had your fun. Like, I really don't get these guys not being willing to just accept that, hey, maybe whatever brand of comedy you're selling now, people just don't like. They're not into it. Maybe come back around another time. It might change, it might not, but like, I don't know, man. Leave them alone, for goodness sake. Leave them alone. But yeah, what can you do? What can you do? Be on stream chat, what you guys saying here? Always love the LS400. Yep. Yeah, dad's being rich. Historical crimes, exactly. Married man, good. Exactly. God help his wife and kid. Exactly. I don't know. Being that age, reminiscing about girls you fucked when you're in college is a little bit crazy. I'm not going to lie. It's one thing if you did it in your 30s, your 40s, whatever, but you're 60 years old, you're like granddad, and you're reminiscing about something like, I don't know. I'm not too sure about that one.
those are the times that you just laugh the most. That's the shit, I don't know. I find that if you gave me a lot of money, I might disappear and do just that. Nick Nolte, my buddy, was doing a movie.
He's never disappearing. Loves the attention too much. Again, classic attention seeker, right? Got that trait in him. But for whatever reason, just never clicked when it comes to being funny. Just never fucking clicked him. I wonder why that is. No idea why that is. We just never fully worked out for the kid.
With him, they were trying to get a movie off the ground. Well, they did a movie with him. And they were talking to him, and he's in his sprawling estate that he bought off of somebody who was in the Eagles, I think. Can't remember. Beautiful place. Got burned down, by the way. And he said,
seems happy about that.
You guys want some plum? You guys eat lunch? And they're like, no. And he goes, okay, you want some plums? And he goes running through the sprinklers and grabs a bunch of plums off his tree and comes back with his shirt full of plums. And he's like, here you go. And there's something about that life where it's just like, I'm going to go eat plums in my garden.
Again, I feel like this is him projecting. I feel like if he had plums in his garden and he had like celebrity friends and he had like noteworthy people, he would be doing it and posting all over social media. So again, I just feel like this is one of those type of things like, yeah, just because you're not invited, just because you're not there, you're not into it. And suddenly when you get invited, guess who's into it?
And do nothing else. I haven't done that in since I was 25.
And far be it from me to point fingers at anybody who doesn't want to be a star or want to be important or have success. I get that.
Yeah.
That's not what but you realize very quickly,
well, it may not be success.
And also there's a real, especially I think with entertainment.
Anyway, I'll leave it just there. Bryan Callen needs to move on. Bryan Callen needs to either shut up or put up or shut up or just move on. I've had enough. Put up or shut up or just fucking move on. If you're really pissed off that your career is not back where it needs to be, we're in a post-cancel culture world. Meet those allegations head on. I don't think it's going to help personally, but you never know. Write a fucking Substack, write a fucking whatever you want to write, put it out there and let people know the truth. And then try and move on from your life from then onwards. Don't make follow-up things and no, just sit there honestly and go through exactly what's been going on the last few days, you know? Be honest. Be 100% honest at all times, you know? Don't be that guy. So, in this particular avenue, if you feel like the allegations are false and they really fucked up your career, the career you worked so super hard for, address them head on. If you just feel like your career is kind of stagnated a bit, I don't know, get funnier. Make better shit. Research the algo, see what fucking pops up for you, blah, 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 blah. It's not that difficult. It really is not that difficult. Will he do it? Of course not. But my personal point of view and opinion on this is as follows. I just think he just needs to accept and move on from the fact that he's no longer that guy. It's okay. It's okay. I'm no longer that guy. That's perfectly okay. You had your fun. Again, Bryan Callen and Brendan are good examples of it. They were doing podcasting before anyone of us probably even knew what a fucking podcast was. They got grandfathered in. Rogan co-signed. They probably made some of the best money that's ever been made from podcast sponsorship back in the day, right? Before the whole thing went kind of belly up a little bit. And it's like, god damn, man, like, can't you be content with that? Of all the stuff that you fucking got, how can you not be content? You still need more. After all that, you still fucking need more. Oh yeah, these motherfuckers, man. Just accept you had a good run and it's over now. You had a good run and it's over now.
Painters in particular, even
cool. We've done that one. And the next I want to point out is this, isn't it, right? Tease on her opponents.
But able to fight somebody, you know, I like that.
What's this about?
That I can grab a
I don't know what that is.
21-year-old kid now who doesn't know what he's doing and fuck
his ass.
You know what I mean? Do
Right?
whatever I want to him. No, wait, hold on.
Right?
What? No, that's not what I was going to say.
Okay, sorry.
I was going to say kick his ass.
Okay, okay, sorry.
Yeah, not
my bad.
Kick his ass.
Rewind.
Fuck his ass. Yeah, you got to say kick.
Kick. Yeah.
Okay. Why do you have a boner?
Lick his ass.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, but you're going to say goodbye to this. It all goes away. And
Sure.
I think about that too. I was thinking about that. That's a really good practice.
No, it isn't really. It's only a good practice if you're coping and seething. It's really good practice to just sit there and imagine everything falling apart. It's like, well, duh. Doesn't everyone feel that way on the... Oh, he's such a freak.
It's like just practice observing this cloud of sensation that needs food, that needs validation, that needs love and warmth and all that. Just practice observing and then realize that observer is going to watch this thing burn away.
Again, I don't know what the fuck this guy's talking about. Like, just get over it, man. Get over it. You've had your time in the sun. Get over it. Move out the way, old rinky rink. Move out the way, old rinky rink. All right, let's do another one. Let's do what have we got in the towel? I've got Christina P, Bryan Callen. Let's do a Brendan Schaub we've already done as well. Actually, let me add a little ticks on here so I know which one I've done. Bear with me a second here, people. I'll put it on the screen. Let me just quickly add these little emojis so I know which ones I've done or not. Right? Apologies for this, but I'll just do it double quickly. Boom. And let's do this one actually. Christina P at Skankfest 2026 should be very interesting. Let's play this clip, courtesy of Rap. Big up Lucia Gomez. Let's play this.
The biggest, Eric Andre for the first time. Christina P, freshly divorced from Tom Segura. You shoot your shot with Christina P. That's what I say.
Maybe she'll win the battle royal. She'll get it out with Serafina.
That'd be hot. Christina P and Serafina just down in front of everybody.
A mother-daughter kind of thing?
Shit. Either way, Skankfest.com, your creator makes it all possible. Get those tickets right now.
The naked roast? Y'all can see titties? You can see titties if you go.
Well, also, the biggest, Eric Andre for the first time. Christina P, freshly divorced from Tom Segura. You shoot your shot with Christina P. That's what I say.
Maybe she'll win the battle royal. She'll get it out with Serafina.
That'd be hot. Christina P and Serafina just down in front of everybody.
A mother-daughter kind of thing?
Shit.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, let's not say anything more about him. It's a very interesting booking. I'm sure it was done prior, right, to the marriage, just the divorce breakup, but it does feel kind of like perfect given what they're about, you know, as to what kind of challenge they're gonna throw up against that thing and everything else in between. It's gonna be really interesting to see and hear what's happening now that big mechanical clack up of houses now being stripped down for parts. Like, what's going on, you know? I wonder what kind of car I wonder. Cool. Christina P at Skankfest. That should be fun. Hopefully she lets it all hang out. She gets a bit crazy and loopy. That'll be fucking good. Don't be acting too prim and proper and whatever else, you know? Let's just be that person. Let's just be that person. Cool. Let's move on. Let me quickly add it onto here too. Oh, I've already got it copied. Boom, boom, boom. What else I've got a list here to talk about? Bear me a second, people. Ari Shaffir and Tim Dillon, right? So let's do that one. Ari Shaffir and Tim Dillon. Oh, what's that there? Apologies. Oh shit, there's a kick chat, alright? Pick up the kick chat. Who's the kick chatter here? Who's talking to you on Kick? Yo, big up Billy Free TX. Billy Free Texas. Tom's success is not a result of his own actions, but instead of a parasitic nature from two sources. He seemingly resents Bert, Crusher, and Tristina. That's true. That's a good point. But he was always having a very good comic. But that's a very, very good point. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you have to thank us for your life. It's fucking crazy, but very true. Cool. What else are we going to do? Now we're going to do what? Tim Dillon, Ari Shaffir, right? So let's do that. Let's do Tim Dillon, Ari Shaffir. So Ari Shaffir is moving to London. You hear about that? By the way, Ari Shaffir, for some reason, don't ask me why. Don't fucking ask me why. But for some reason, Ari's leaving New York to move to fucking London. I don't know. I don't get it. New York is having one of the best moments it's had in recent memory. I feel like every clip I see of New York gives me mad FOMO, even more than probably going to Tokyo. You know how much I love my streetwear, how much I love my fucking Japanese street style, right? But I'm actually way more excited to go to fucking Seoul than I to go to fucking Weiwa. I'm not gonna lie. Like, Jesus Christos. There's some absolute stunners out there, you know? Absolute stunners. But hey, let's continue. Ari Shaffir moving to London. Why? We're gonna find out now.
Hey, by the way, are you, and let's get the exclusive, are you the new permanent guest host for Legion for Skanks?
I just announced this on the episode last night that.
Yo, big up who that's brutal. Hey bro, wondering how you like the Paddy the Baddies walkout. It's like the UK EDM stuff. I'm new to it. Wondering whose artists in the same lane enjoy it. I don't know idea. I'm guessing you mean Paddy the Baddies walkout theme music, right? What is it? I don't know, who's that meant to be? Who? Oh. Honestly. Okay, cool. Let's continue.
That airs on Legion cast.
The exclusive. Hey, by the way, are you, and let's get the exclusive, are you the new permanent guest host for Legion for Skanks?
I just announced this on the episode last night that airs on Legion Gas Digital today. No, I'm moving to London.
You are?
I'm vacating my seat.
Louis J. Gomez got to be so pissed. Because it felt like when they announced it, he was going to be like the new co-host to take over from the other guy, Dave Smith. And then soon after, he like left and now he's moving to London. It must really, Louis J. Gomez must be pissed because he tries to run Gas Digital like a serious company. Right? He has these serious, like, I don't know, he wants to be taken somewhat seriously, it feels like. Or respected at least. And it doesn't really seem to work. I'm not going to lie. It doesn't really seem to work. But I just still don't get it in my head why somebody would leave New York to fucking London. I just don't get it. It's just, yeah, it's not the one. It's not the one. It's not the one. But hey, let's hear what he has to say.
Knew we had talked about you moving to London, and I had a question here. Tell
I'm
me.
vacating my seat. I had to legitimately lie to all my friends because they all have big fat fucking mouths in this industry.
Yes.
So they go, so are you still moving to London or are you doing that? And I was like, oh, you guys are going to ruin the fucking bit.
Yeah.
So straight to their face, not even on air ever. I would have to be like, no, I'm staying. And then I know I'm going to catch a lot of flack from it.
But what's the bit though? I don't understand. What's the bit? You are moving though, no? What's the actual bit though? I don't understand what's the comedy. What's the hashtag comedy then? If you are actually moving, you're not staying, you vacated your seat, you go announce as a new co-host of Legions of Skanks, now you're leaving, so you have to find a new person. You kind of put them in the shit there. Like, I don't get the bit. What's the bit?
My friend, like, what? But you lied to me.
Yeah, it was just me and you talking.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't trust.
I don't trust you.
Well, I have friends with fat mouths and friends who have friends with fat mouths.
That's right.
So I'm like, I can't even tell you.
It'll leak. It'll leak.
Yeah, the bit works best if nobody knows.
Well, this is a question I had.
So, yeah, I'm gone.
Tell me of your
run.
travels in England.
I haven't gone yet.
Oh, but I mean, you've been there.
Ari's a bit of a weirdo when it comes to his private life. Like, he's very extreme in certain things, but he's very weird and private with his private life, which I don't mind because I'm similar. But I did remember it being let slip that Ari dates or was with some woman who's like an art dealer. I don't know if you guys know that in stream chat. Is that true or not? So I wonder if him moving to London has nothing to do with him and just her, because obviously London has a great contemporary art scene. We have some of the great galleries, some of the greatest artists' work, is displayed in museums and galleries all over fucking London. I wonder if him moving to London is less about him and more so to do with his fiance, wife, or whatever, deciding that she wants to spend a bit of time here, working her. Maybe she might work in a gallery, like, I don't know, what's it, Houses and Worth or something, Houses and Worth, the White Cube. And then now you're working over there. Maybe she's got a position over there in New York or whatever, and now they're sending you out to London to do some stuff over there. So it could just be him just being supportive, and whilst his wife is working, he's also going to be living here. But is it actually him living here full time, like without nobody else? I don't think so. I think when that thing comes off, somebody else arrives. But yeah, I still find it strange. That an American would leave New York to come and live in London. Like, London is not great. The UK is not great. But leaving New York to come to London is fucking insane.
720-820-1337 if you need advice on how to keep a secret from Ari Shaffir.
But I don't think that's the bit though. Big up Bruce. I think they're lying. To save face. I'm not going to lie. I have no information. I have no fucking data. I have no whatever. I think them changing every month is them just like lying. I think they want to find a permanent co-host to take over from Dave Smith. I think they're just trying to lie to make it a bit, to make it funny. But they would have preferred if Ari was here and kept the spot and was the permanent person to take over. But now Ari, for some reason, has come into money. I don't know what's happened with him. He's suddenly come into money and he's out and about doing things. But yeah, I still find it strange, I still find it strange. But hey, what do I know?
Feel free to call it.
This is gonna be for every terrible AM radio I do in the morning to promote gig. Just this to the camera to be like, this is such a bad interview.
No, there's going to be some really good questions here, and you have to tune in later to hear. They say laughter heals. I'd love your take on
Jesus
that.
fucking Christ! I forgot how much I hate you. Sometimes I like watch you and I'm like, oh yeah, fucking Norton rules, and then I get in touch with you and I'm like, God, you fucking suck.
Big up 101 Krieger having a bit of a moment there. Big up 101 Krieger having a bit of a moment there. The Sri, and then the RE. I love it. Big up 101 Krieger. I've been there.
They do say that about laughter healing. I was just wondering.
Laughter does heal. It's so funny when you find somebody who's like, you got me through my cancer, I listened to you or whatever, and you're like, that's not why I'm doing it.
Not at all, actually, for the exact opposite effect.
Yeah.
I was hoping to hustle it along. I thought endorphins made it grow faster.
Yeah, I'm glad you ordered a t-shirt instead of waited for the live show. You're not going to make it, but
exactly. I'm glad I got you through your cancer. All right, good. What do I get from that? Which is probably the wrong attitude. All right, so far this is going really well. Who is Ari Shaffir?
What? Who's writing these?
I just did. I thought that was a great question to let people know who you really are, because you're a man of intrigue and mystery.
I'm just me. I'm just a comic. I'm going to London to see the scene out there.
I am fascinated with the fact that you would do that. Like, because I was in London, it was great.
Yeah.
But I what made you want to move there? Like, what was the thing that you went like, yeah, I want to live in this place?
Well, I wanted to move somewhere.
Yeah.
So I moved here. It's so funny. So Rogan's telling me all the reasons I shouldn't go to London. And I'm like, I was getting annoyed. I was like, these are the same reasons you told me I shouldn't go to New York.
Yeah.
And that worked out quite well. It actually unified the two scenes in America. Me coming here. I was the fucking bridge.
That's right.
Whatever. I'll say it is. And these are all the same reasons. I don't know. I want to go somewhere new, and then I need to do stand-up every night. So there's not many cities you can do that.
Fair play, man. I went to go to somewhere new. And there's not many cities where you can do stand-up every night. I guess, isn't it? English speaking. That's best. Maybe it makes a good point. If you don't want to be in America and you want to be somewhere else, I guess London is the only option, isn't it? Really, if you think about it. If you don't want to travel, like, do you know what I mean? Like, obviously there's stand-up in other parts of the world, but it's not going to be English speaking. And it's probably not going to be that great. Or maybe it will, who knows? But it's just, yeah, I get it. I absolutely do flipping get it. But hey. It only need for 10 minutes, yeah. Cool, I don't know what this means, but hey. Let's try everything. Up already, nice. Let's continue. Big up Ari, let's continue. Big up everybody in stream chat too, by the way. Smash like, hit subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Smash like, hit subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Smash like, hit subscribe if you like what you're seeing. Wherever I don't finish now, I'll also finish later on today, so don't worry. There's another TFATK dropping as well later, so don't worry.
How long do you in a place normally before you're like, I got to get out of here?
Well, like New York?
Just any city, because you move a lot. Like, I never want to move.
I still love New York City. I was getting about done with LA when I moved here. I'm still loving New York. And also I was just gone for like 10 months. So I was to fall in love with it again, seeing as an outsider, seeing how lively it is in the streets late at night. I'm like, oh my God. Plus the Knicks are in the title game.
Yeah.
So it's like, this is so fun right now. June in New York is fucking rules. And I'm like, fuck, maybe I shouldn't go. I'm not done with this place. I don't want to overstay the.
Well, can't you push it back? Like, push it back 6 months.
Push back life. I already did.
What's that?
Push back life till forever.
No, you did.
You know, it's like, it's time.
I guess so.
Experience something new.
And you can always come back.
Also, so
I do find it interesting how he's the only one in his friendship group that does this. I'm not going to lie. I do find it interesting how all of Ari's friends think he's such a freak, think he's so fucking wacky and zany because he goes on vacations or he goes backpacking. It's just odd for guys who make money or who make their own schedules, right? Mostly stand-up comedians are multi-millionaires who make their own schedule. Yeah, I know some of them have wives and girlfriends, but some of them don't. Or even if they did, it fucking wouldn't matter. But they don't do anything like this. They don't go out. They don't travel much. All their life is just stand-up and podcasting. So it probably does make sense someone like an Ari would look like a freak to a person who just wants to fucking, wants to just shake some ass or whatever. But again, I'm still never going to get over the fact that he's leaving New York to come to London. It's fucking wild.
I don't know. I don't know. What's your applause level like when you go on at the Stellar?
I mean, I'm trying to think of an adjective, tepid. There's one fat guy who remembers me from O&A.
So
I'll hear one, woo!
In the height of O&A, it was, let's say, 9 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yes.
You'd go on stage. It'd be like a hero's welcome to a
No,
degree.
it's the same now because, again, my name is never on the lineup. If I was on the road, it's different where they're there to see me. But at the Cellar, no, I never had that kind of mainstream. Because Opie and Anthony ended before, like, Instagram videos or all that stuff was massive.
Right.
So it was people who knew me already knew me.
Well, when I go on, it depends where it is and when, but it's either like oh yes, and everybody goes nuts, or like one guy's like oh nice, and then everyone else doesn't care.
That's right. Yeah.
When they don't care, I know I'm gonna get an honest rep and actually work on my material.
Yeah.
And when they go crazy, I'm like, this will not be an honest.
So what is he like running away from America because he feels like it's too easy to do comedy there because he's associated with Rogan and the Austin comedy scene? People are just going to give him free laughs because they just like him as a human being. Interesting perspective. Seems like he's actually trying to become somewhat, I don't know, self-made or whatever, but I don't know. Yeah, interesting.
Rep. In London, I get yelled at.
Really?
I get women, almost always women, tell me to move on.
Wow.
Why?
Yeah,
Because of what you're doing on stage?
It's just too dark.
Oh,
but to be fair, it does make sense though. Ari would be very annoying to like a regular English person. I'm not going to lie. A regular Brit, a regular Londoner would find Ari very annoying, and very hard to get on with. I'm not going to lie. They find him very hard to get on with. He's a very particular. He's an acquired taste at the best of times, but I just think personality wise, we're not well suited. We don't blend well. Our people over here don't blend well with Ari types, But he obviously gets a kick out of getting under people like me or like people that live here. Under the kind of sensibilities that we have, he probably enjoys that very, very much. But yeah, I'm not surprised that the UK contingency isn't the greatest fans of Ari. Oh shit.
Material, yeah.
Yeah, their sensibilities are a little bit behind ours.
Move on.
Yeah, move on. No one's feeling it.
Yeah, big up Daz McGee. They can never have. Yeah, exactly. That's the funny thing about these guys. That is true. What you say that's probably a joke, but that is the truth. They really can have never enough money. Never ever.
And then the late night vibes, because their degenerates are way bigger degenerates than ours are.
Oh, really?
Really?
Yeah, their Tuesday nights at 1 a.m. versus our Tuesday nights at 1 a.m. We have a good, you know what ketamine is.
Yeah.
You can.
But to be fair, isn't that more to do with like us just being more real? Everyone over there in America, you'd imagine, especially open mic, they're just trying to make it, innit? They're just trying to like literally shoot and make it. Obviously, you're gonna get arrested, you fucking freak. By the way, obviously, you're gonna get flipping. Go on, meow.
Make a reference and they'll get it. Hookers instead at 1 a.m. on a Tuesday, they're like, yeah, I haven't gone in a while, but
during
I'm not going to judge you.
Yeah, so big up Ari Shaffir, moving to London for some reason. Big up Ari Shaffir, moving to fucking London of all places. Honestly, it's never gonna sit right with me. That seems such a baffling decision to make, but we all do our things, innit? We all do our things. Okay, now I've got to do what? Tim Dillon, innit, right? Tim Dillon and a chin. For Tim Dillon, should I do this one? Yeah, let's do this. This is really funny. I thought this was really fucking funny. Big up Tim Dillon. Tim Dillon on Andrew and Tristan Tate recent arrest. I thought Tim Dillon's review or Tim Dillon's commentary on the Tate brothers' recent arrest was really on point, especially when he was starting grilling the government or the current administration or just, whatever, the powers that be, about the Tates always being in and out of fucking jail and getting arrested and then released and then charged with this and then released. And it was like, yeah, but what happened to all those people that got accused of being PDFs and everything? Why has one of those guys been, hung, drawn, and quartered? Why is there always these TV things? Let's see what he has to say about Andrew Tristan. I thought this was really good, personally. I thought this was really fucking on point from Tim Dillon.
These Tate brothers can't catch a break, these guys, huh? You know, I met them in Romania. I interviewed them on the Patreon, and this was years ago. And they were lovely, and they took me to a...
This was, but I love, by the way, I do love how he does that, by the way. I do love how he, like, uses people for clicks and views, and then when it gets a bit when it gets a bit techie, when it gets a bit controversial on the timeline, he fucking dumps them so fucking hard. I do find that quite funny. How quickly he dumps those things. Oh, you know, this is long before. It's like, come on, you don't have to fucking state that. We know, we get it.
Steakhouse. I was in Romania to do a gig for some Bitcoin guy who had lots of money, who paid me a lot of money to go out there and do comedy in Bucharest, Romania, for a group of people that could barely speak English. And they liked me and saw me and wanted me to go. And it was a very challenging, I did it in some like weird restaurant event venue. And I did about 25 minutes, and it was barely understood. And I think one of the guys stood up and was like, Joe Rogan. So I think he saw me on Joe's show. And I was there, and I hit up the Tates, and I said, you know, you have any recs, any recommendations? And they go, we know exactly who you are. We'll pick you up from the airport. And they did, and they came in their Rolls Royces. And they truly were. Now, I know they're accused of rape and human trafficking, whatever, but let me just say my piece first, and then I'll get to that. They were truly lovely. We had a lovely meal. We went to their home. We did a podcast. They were lovely people. Am I saying they're pure of spirit? I don't know. I'm just saying my personal experience with them. They're accused of choking women sometimes until they passed out, then raping them. Again, not good. That's from the New York Times. My producer highlighting that. I understand that. I'm getting to that, and I appreciate you highlighting that as I talk about how lovely our dinner was. Thank you very much for doing that. We are against that here at the Tim Dillon Show, choking women until they pass out and then raping them. Obviously wrong. We get it. We know it. Not for it. Have never been for it. I witnessed none of that in Romania.
Basically, his defense is like, they were good guys to me, you know? That's like a Trump thing, isn't it? They were good guys to me, always, you know? So I have no problem with them because they were nice to me at one point. It's like, yeesh. But it does kind of go to show you how politics works, you know? And also, you know, if you're smart, you can finagle certain things. You get me? You can finagle.
One of their girlfriends was there. I think her name was Baby G or something, and she was a little quiet. Some of the women with them were quiet. That's what I will say. Some of the women there were quiet. They were not offering loud opinions. A little nice, but it was very, you know, I don't know. They didn't seem like victims to me. Was there an arrangement? Were they working a little bit? Hey, sure. But by the way, life is an arrangement. Truly. Sorry. I'm not, and I'm not trying to you know, discourage the real true romantics out there, because I feel like that's a beautiful thing. Love's an amazing, beautiful thing. It's a celestial thing. It comes from the, you know, blah, 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 blah. It's lovely. And I hope you're finding it this summer. You only get one summer. But love is a little bit of a commodity in certain places. Mm-hmm. And I felt like maybe there was a commodified love, which is I've lived in Beverly Hills. I live in New York. I'm well aware of that. I've had my friends' mothers tell me I married this person for very practical reasons. I had my friend's mother told me that on the back porch of her Wantagh home. She said, I married her husband's name for very practical reasons. I was never over the moon in love with him, but I knew he'd be a good father and he'd make a good living, and these are okay things. So what I'm saying here is that we are against choking women until they pass out, and then we can't keep doing that with that word because we'll be out of this algorithm. So we're against all of that, and if that happened, that is unequivocally unacceptable, and I have no reason to believe it didn't happen. I didn't see it with my...
Honestly, I love the disclaimer so much. I love the disclaimer so much.
My own eyes, I don't know what's going on. They've taken a lot of controversial stances and made a lot of people unhappy, and they've made a lot of enemies. But also, they live a weird life, and they live together in one house in Romania, and God only knows what's going on. And they are very open about the idea that they kind of like a harem. They're like a bunch of different women there, and women are kind of, in their mind, women are more property than they are people. So they have been arrested. But again, so let me just go back to my experience with them, which was very, very cordial and nice. And I thought they were respectful and had and dignified. And
like this is true comedy shit, right? In some respects, because in light of them being accused of what they've been accused of, there's PDF allegations, this crazy shit. It just keeps getting worse and worse for these guys, right? In the wake of all of that, like no, let's just get some. I mean, I do find that funny. In the wake of all of that, in the wake of all of that, no, let's try and make some funnies out of it by saying that, hey, we didn't see who it was for before they knocked, we didn't see who it was for. It's like, Jesus Christ, what are they doing? Wow. Jesus Christ, how's that gonna fit? Just unplug the TV, cool. There you go. Let's continue before we have to end. And then we'll come back again later on today because there's a new TFATK, so I'll get some clips of that one as well. But let's do a few more here.
I don't like hearing about the choking and the you-know-whatting. That's not for me. So let's watch a little bit of that. They're facing new UK charges, and they got them on a bunch of charges. They got them on all kinds of things. Let's take a look here.
Tonight, Andrew and Tristan Tate are behind bars in Miami, waiting for their possible extradition to the UK.
Who's that guy with that hat? That fedora? Wait, hold on. Go back. Oh, okay.
Tristan, anything to say? U.S. Marshals arresting the controversial social media influencers in Florida this weekend as prosecutors in the United Kingdom announced a slew of...
By the way, let's stop this for a minute. And again, I'm not defending them at all. These seemingly are the only human traffickers we want to arrest. Like, these are the only people in our society trafficking that we seem to care about, by the way. There's nobody in Washington, not a member of the political class, none of our billionaires who've all been like, a lot of them have been credibly accused. I'm not defending the Tates at all. I am saying, though, they do seem like the only people involved in this particular crime that we have a huge interest in apprehending. And they keep getting arrested, and then they keep letting them out, and it's like, what's going on? Tate said, I'm in solitary, and I'm next to a cannibal in there. He goes, my cellmate, or the guy in solitary next to him, not cellmate, but his neighbor is a guy who's screaming all night and who's...
By the way, it's not Jesus Christ, actually. You're in a fucking prison. I'm sorry. You've been charged with some heinous stuff, Andrew Tate. Like, yeah, of course you're going to be... You might be in solitary confinement, sat next to a fucking Hannibal. It is what it is. You're in fucking prison, jail, whatever. That's where you are. So it doesn't make sense why some of it's just like not even worth trying. Yeah, don't even bother trying.
Cannibal. But again, which, by the way, if you are doing that, the choking and if you're doing all of that, then that's what you get. And I have no sympathy for that. But let's watch a little bit more of this news story here on NBC.
In Florida this weekend, as prosecutors in the United Kingdom announced a slew of new charges, including for rape.
Their first reaction to the allegations is the first reaction that any innocent man or woman would have.
What is that?
It's garbage.
The brother's attorney speaking today outside Miami federal
By the
court.
way, is that the first reaction an innocent person would have? It's garbage. Sounds a little guilty. Is that their principal defense? Was that it's garbage? He goes, play that again. He goes, the first reaction any innocent person would have is that it's garbage. Go on.
Reaction to the allegations is the first reaction that any innocent man or woman would have. It's garbage.
I'm a great lawyer. Great lawyer. Great.
When did lawyers start talking like my Uncle Tommy? Like what? lawyers on this show, like playing just different things, like the degeneration of people's ability to communicate is unbelievable. Yeah, they had the same reaction anyone would have that's innocent. It's garbage. Whole thing's garbage. You're like, what? You're my lawyer. Lawyers are supposed to articulate something in a way that you can't. Lawyers aren't supposed to sound like you. Lawyers are supposed to sound like professional, and they're supposed to use legal terminology. They're not supposed to be like, this the whole thing's garbage. They didn't choke nobody. It's garbage.
Speaking today outside Miami federal court, where the brothers appeared before a judge in beige and brown prison clothes, shackled at the wrists and ankles as the extradition process begins.
We are, of course, objecting to extradition because Andrew and Tristan are innocent. They've never done nothing wrong. They shouldn't be extradited for crimes they did not
Who
commit.
is this lawyer? They never done nothing. They never done nothing wrong.
All the self-snitching though is crazy, man. All these clips coming off from them from back in the day of them saying the things that they've been accused of or heavily hinting at it. It's just wild. And just some of the nasty, disrespectful, whatever shit. It's just like, I don't know. They've got so much material out there about these guys. It's just crazy how much content they put out over the last few years. So much.
Who is this? This lawyer looks like someone who was taking courses on Andrew Tate's site.
Exactly.
4 months ago.
He looks
They
like
never done nothing wrong.
He looks like the other guy. What's his name? King Azulai, whatever. You know, he's from that world of people. He's from that King Azulai world of people. You know, where TRT is the this and that, and lifting weights and being powerful and strong is the most important thing. It's like, okay, we get it. We fucking get it.
These two. I mean, this is unbelievable. All right, get him out of here. The Tate brothers, friends of the show. We want justice for the women or whatever. I mean, and I don't mean to minimize it when I say or whatever. I just don't really know what's going on over there. I mean, because this has been a saga for years with them. They keep arresting them. They keep going. They're running this trafficking ring, and then they keep popping up again in Miami in a nightclub. So I don't know what's going on. So are they running a trafficking ring, and are they like worldwide international traffickers and rapists or whatever? I don't know what's happening. If that's the case, lock them up, throw away the key, like by all means. But they were lovely to me at a steakhouse in Romania. They picked up the bill. These Tate brothers can't catch a break, these guys, huh? You know, I met them in Romania. I interviewed them on the Patreon, and this was years ago. And they were lovely, and they took me to a steakhouse. I was in Romania to do a gig for some Bitcoin guy who had lots of money, who paid me a lot of money to go out there and do comedy in Bucharest, Romania, for a group of people that could barely speak English. And they liked me and saw me and wanted me to go, and it was a very challenging.
Oh shit! It's repeating from the beginning. Anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed that clip personally. Like I said, I love the fact that he spun the whole Andrew Tristan Tate arrest into a weird defense of them because they were nice to him one time when he met them in fucking Romania. Right? I find that really funny. Oh, he was nice to me though. So it's like, yeah, that's how it works. That's how it works. Okay, I think we're gonna leave it there for now. Or what? Have I done everything on the title? Chin. Oh, chin. Let's do chin. Let's do chin. Then I'll bounce. Let's do chin. Oh, chin. Not gonna lie, this is gonna be a quick one, but this one kind of bums me out about Chin. This one kind of bums me out. Chin basically revealed that he has no medical insurance, no 401k or no 410k, whatever that shit is, right? What is that by the way? Is that a pension as well? That, if I'm not mistaken, isn't a 410? If it's a 410k or whatever you have in America, isn't that just a pension? 401k. Meaning, a 401k is an employer-sponsored tax-advantage retirement savings account. Yeah, it's basically just a pension, right? It's your version of a pension in the States. So Chin basically has no medical insurance. Listen to this. Chin has no medical insurance, no 401k, no, I keep getting it wrong. No medical insurance, no 401k, no sick days, no vacation days, nothing. Nothing. All he does is get paid. If this is the case, I'm really ashamed. I'm really embarrassed that I sat here with my straight face and told you guys I think Chin is on like 60 grand or like whatever he. I think I said 100 grand, right? I think I said 100 grand. I think I said 100 grand. I thought Chin was on 100 grand a year. There's just simply no way. There's simply no way that Brendan's paying him 100 grand a year, but is refusing to give him any sort of medical insurance. That doesn't make any sense. Sorry, I keep fucking hiccuping here. Apologies. Too many fizzy drinks. It's almost impossible that Chin gets paid well. It's almost impossible. There's no sick day, because I never thought about it, because he's obviously just said it all in one, but I never actually thought about it until he actually said it aloud. I was like, oh shit, that's true. You don't actually get any sick days of vacation, do you? Well, he has to take vacation when they take. So that one time he went to Korea, they took a week off, right? I think, and he just like used, took that to his advantage. They have a week off. Cool, let me go back home and see my parents. But he doesn't really have anything that he can like plan ahead of time and say, yeah, I want to go to this festival. I want to go to this performance. I want to go to this person's house. I mean, he just doesn't really have anywhere to go, which is kind of sad in that regard. But yeah, I don't know. I do find this clip really interesting, but also super sad, man. Super, super sad. Given all the years of employment, all the years of loyalty, all the years of fucking dedication, all the years of reliability, consistency, whether you like his work or not, he's given them over the years, and they didn't even have one of those nice pots. Come on, man. Anyway, let's see what Chin has to say about his working conditions over that Thiccc Boy, aka Big Brown Breakdown, whatever it's fucking called.
Dude, he did all the watermelon coming out of my belly and stuff. That was crazy.
Shout
Gave
out
me
Eduardo.
a bald head.
Yeah, you look cool bald.
When did you get a bald head? I didn't see it.
In the episode.
Didn't someone put notes in? I could have sworn someone put notes in.
I did, but I want to save it for next week.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Good idea.
Did any of you guys have any topics? I purposely don't put notes in because you're gonna make fun of me, and I have a bunch.
I don't. How have we made fun of you? Your notes have been.
Did they make fun of him from putting notes to the topics because he can't spell and he doesn't really, because he has weird like grammar, he has weird like spelling ability. It's like he's actually like, something wrong with him. But I wonder if it's that something wrong with him, or it's just that he's picked up a Brendan thing where he's just too lazy to bring his brush around, and it's literally just there. Yeah, but hey, whatever. Let's see what he has to say. Let's continue.
And like the best part of the thing, they spur discussion.
You guys like, oh, you have a whole dictionary. I forgot what you said.
You're sensitive.
A railroad bit, just a railroad bit.
Oh,
too old to be doing that, Chin. You're too old to be doing. I'm sorry, brother. Not to be the old police here, but you're way too old to be doing this. I'm not gonna lie.
A railroad bit, just a railroad bit.
Oh, I told you guys I saw Bryan Callen. He came to the office.
Oh yeah, yeah. What's up with that? What's he doing? Getting some T-shirts?
Maybe. He was actually wearing all of the stuff already. He came into the studio because I work at True Classic now. He just walks through the door while I'm like mid-bite of a burrito. I'm like, Bryan Callen, what the hell are you doing here? And we high-fived. Big old hug. Him and I and Ryan just chatted like old times, like old buds.
Wow.
And I think he was just pitching some comedy ideas to Ryan. So we'll see if Bryan Callen appears in some True Classic videos someday. Not sure. But that's kind of it. He just kind of came in and got a tour of the old office.
I do find it strange how True Classics, again, not my cup of tea, but they are a legit brand that make legit money, and it's fucking, it's only getting bigger and bigger and bigger. I don't get why they're aligned with fucking Bryan Callen and Brendan. I really don't get it. Maybe because the founder is like a super fan, weirdly enough, right? Maybe because they've literally got a fan that is a literal super fan of the show, but also happens to be super rich. I'm not too sure. But I do find it always odd, like why a legit company that's on this right track would ever try to get Rogan in, like, sorry, Callen in. It's like, what does Callen know about fucking times, intervals, and all this? Like, I don't know. I thought that was very, 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 very bizarre, but hey, maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me when it comes to that. Maybe it's just me.
The old TFATK room where I reside every single day now. But it was good catching up. He was like, I hate Chin. I hate being in Texas. And I need to get back here. No, I'm just kidding.
That's roughly what he said. Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
You should have fired up the TikTok live.
Interesting little sneak this there at Brendan, by the way. Interesting little sneak this there at Brendan for when he does these like Thiccc Boy live shows. He also pops his camera up next to the fucking table and does a video live stream that looks very boring and not entertaining. Like, Jesus, up the fucking energy a little bit, Lufsky. Or whatever his name is. God damn, what happened? Cool. Let's continue. I just want to hear him say the words, because the words when he says it really find it depressing.
I did think about that. I don't think he was too keen on hopping in the live, though.
Makes sense.
He was there for bigger fish to fry. You know what I mean?
You should have been like, this is your audition.
Bryan didn't want to jump in the fucking live because he was going to get brutalized in the comment section. That's why.
Let's see how funny you are, funny man.
Oh, wow.
What is Casey doing now?
Comedy pills you've been taking?
Nothing. I'm looking up what stuff we could talk about.
It's
distracting to do the... My screen?
Yeah. I want to see these ideas you're looking up.
It's going to be a golf channel, his Slack with his buddies. And then
it looks like it's being weird. For some reason, it won't let me.
Yeah, shit. It happens, dude. It happens.
I get that.
Yeah, it says no, it says it won't.
It's the VPN. It's just like scattering everything. It's the VPN.
It's a Earthlink.
Yeah.
Can I read you one note that I came up with?
Yes.
Oh, please.
Since I'm taking all these comedy pills. You know, the podcast Diary of a CEO. More like Diarrhea of a CEO.
Really good.
Mark.
That's good, but
the whole time he's like shitting his pants. What's it?
Hilarious, but I will say.
You want to know a quick? Oh, go ahead, Nick. Well, never mind, Nick. You're on pause for first. Okay, go ahead. You're back, and you're on pause again.
I will say, Stephen.
Where you're at.
Stephen Bartlett's my North Carolina podcast. You just did it again. Unbelievable.
Again, it's not a funny show. I don't find it funny in the slightest, but it is kind of interesting how much fun they have together compared to other comedy podcasts, especially Brendan and Bryan. I don't really find their brand of humor funny at all, but it is very telling how much they enjoy each other's company, even on Zoom. You know, instead of, you know, when you consider someone like Brendan and his lack of, you know, hospitality or whatever. It's just interesting.
Stephen Bartlett, host of Diary of a CEO, is my North Star of podcast production at the moment.
Diary of a CEO, more like diarrhea of a CEO.
Yeah. Callback. I get that. Mark sent to our group chat a production position for Diary of a CEO, and looking at it, I was like, I couldn't do this job. They really need someone who knows DPing. Mark,
actually, what does that look like? Let me see. What is this? Diary of a CEO production assistant job. What does it actually look like? What are they looking for? Because this would be something. This would be actually. I don't want to. It's gonna make me. I don't want to check something that's gonna make me do. I don't have a LinkedIn, so I don't want to make me log in or some shit. Okay, there we go. I don't need to log in. Good. So what's the role? What's required here? Can I? The range, they're paying about 110 to 130 per year. video producer role. Yeah, let's see. What can Chin do from here? I'm really curious to see. What can if Chin had to go back out there in the fucking market, and Chin had to try and get a regular job. No, Chin had to try and get a video producer, product producer job outside of Thiccc Boy, right? Because I think Chin obviously hates working for Thiccc Boy. I don't think it's a stretch to say that Chin doesn't really enjoy working with Brendan, but he's just kind of stuck there because he doesn't really, he's not the most ambitious type of person. He's not the most, he's a bit risk adverse. He's a weird 50-year-old man that kind of acts like a child. I don't know. He's just a strange lad. But if he had to, if he was forced to, if he was put in a position where he had no other option to that, how would he fare? Because, the problem with him, obviously he's had a job for like 10 plus years, which is fucking commendable. But the problem is that his fucking skills have kind of been like locked. You know what I mean? They're like null, there's not really much, to learn. I don't know. Maybe there is more. I don't really know, but I'm curious to know what he would have to do to be considered for that job. So let's look at it through Chin's eyes. Video producer, Diary CEO. Company, Flight Story. The show, Diary CEO. Reports to head of production. Operations, and location, LA base, includes global travel. So Chin would have to report to another person who's like involved in that world, production operations, which will be hard to adjust, I think, because I don't think Chin plays well with others as well. I don't think he's one of those ones that plays well with other producers. So it'll be interesting to see him at work actually doing fine with the, whatever. There we go. More coming out. Nice. Let's continue. About Flight Story, we're multimedia. Okay, we don't care about that. The mission to own the technical capture of Diary of CEO. The picture and the sound, every recording. Already looking tough for fucking Chin. To own the technical capture of Diary of a CEO, the picture and the sound of every recording anywhere in the world. This person leads the crew who deliver it. So every episode is captured flawlessly. This is already looking choppy for Chin. They expect you to drop every episode without faults flawlessly. As the show's technical editorial standard, with zero unforced errors, or as Brendan would like to say, zero unforced errors. Yo, they run a tight ship over there at Diary of CEO, man. They run a fucking tight ship. A hands-on hybrid of director of photography, technical director, and audio mixer. This is the person who guarantees that what happens in a room is captured perfectly in image, sound, and atmosphere, or a record keeper, recording giant, Whitney. Honestly, so fucking crazy. So fucking crazy. But look at all these skills. This is something that he's already done. Director of photography, technical director. You know what I mean? So he probably feels like he's more than adequate to these things, but for whatever reason, it didn't go that way. Fucking hell, honestly. The outcomes: flawless capture. Every Diary CEO recording is captured broadcast grade quality across. Already struggling. The room protected. The intimacy and calm of again. He's all the stuff that they want. He's not gonna be able to give them. God damn. Okie dokie. Consistency, every shoe in every market, looks and sounds unmistakably like DOAC, a crew that is mobilized in Vuka Lahara. There we go. Zoom pods are for so bad. Thanks, Daisy. Welcome back. Be good. Be a 1-on-1 Krieger. Sorry, something happened. I think I got a fly on my lip or something there. That was disgusting. A crew that holds the bar, freelance technical crew, wherever they are hired, deliver DOC standard under cleared out. Jesus Christ. Again, he's gonna have to hire freelancers who are of that level as well, that he can't even hit himself. Marginal gains every week. Image, sound, setup, and workflow get measurably better throughout the relentless 1% improvement habit. a lot of demands, a lot of perfection, a lot of standards he won't be able to meet. Responsibility, technical capture, and floor execution. Own the picture, sound at every recording. Run the camera package personally. Operate the switcher and live mod. Even the switcher is not that great at, to be fair. I don't know. I'll give that to him. Actually, I'll give that. I think he's pretty decent at the switcher, especially when he's doing other things as well. So yeah, I think he's pretty decent at the switcher. Let me give him that. Run sound across the mic levels, including broadcast grade. Audio capture for every guest, every segment. Crew leadership and quality bar. Build and direct freelance technical crews across camera. Source and vet the crew in unfamiliar markets. Jesus Christ, he's gonna have to like gather a fucking crew to record something when they go to like fucking Singapore and shit. Yeah, he's not doing that. No way Chin can do that. The room, discretion and intimacy and judgment. Protect the recording environment. Diary with CEO conversations are sensitive, high trust and capture. A operation must never disturb that. Enforce the neither seen nor heard doctrine. Crew invisibility is the baseline standard, not aspiration. God, yeah, he's never doing that. Come on. Yeah, global production and travel. Yeah, it's a lot. Basically, this is what he'd be doing in a normal podcast outside of Thiccc Boy. The standards now are high, man. They expect quite a lot. They expect quite a lot now from you. They expect quite a fucking lot from you. So, yeah, man. I think Chin better stay at Thiccc Boy. As bad as he thinks he is, as bad as he thinks the job is, he better just stay his ass there. Because if he tried to get a job outside of Thiccc Boy, he's going to be struggling. Because the standards are super. There's probably a kid out there that could do that with his eye closed, right? There's probably a couple of kids out there, people considerably younger than Chin, that could do that job with their eyes closed. They're rubbing their hands now. They probably have applied already. They're probably in the interview stage. I mean, they're probably super comfortable, super happy to get going and to show off their skills in an interview. But Chin doesn't stand a chance of getting that shit right. But I could be wrong.
Honestly, I feel like you have too many jobs, but I feel like it'd be perfect for you.
We shall see.
Do you know the like how much they pay?
Yeah, it said on
if you
the
look
listing.
at the job listing, it says the pay in there.
I'm dedicated to one thing.
Jesus, wait, did you say I did? And he missed the job list again. So useless. The listing says the price right there. I mean the salary right at the top. It's very clear.
It says the pay in there.
I'm dedicated to one thing only. So I don't look at that shit, Mark. Okay, so how much do they pay?
120.
More than you can afford, pal.
Is it really 120 or is it more?
It's 120.
Jesus Christ. What does Chin get? What does Chin get, by the way? Does Chin get 60 grand then? What do you think Chin gets as a baseline salary? What does Brendan give Chin for all these years of dedication? Again, I think in the time that Chin has been at TFATK, I'm going to say he's probably been off on vacation. And again, this is a guy that has, roots in South Korea, right? He has roots in South Korea. He has family over there. Parents are from there. I think he's only actually physically been on vacation from TFATK, like, it's probably a maximum of 10 times, which is kind of scary considering the frequency at which, she probably goes to see her mom. I don't know. You know what I mean. It is kind of sad. It is kind of fucking sad. But, a position, a situation that he put himself in, so you can't be too sad for him.
Massages, dental.
They said you can't have any backup cameras, which it would be tough for you.
Oh no.
Yeah,
that's
one camera and one camera only.
Red flag.
That's another callback.
Red flags.
But yeah, they do a great job. Their cold opens and stuff, trying to quickly.
Cold opens really more nice. Like hot opens.
Nice.
Oh,
what's a benefit that isn't being given by companies, but would be extremely incentivizing for you to work there? Like, Chin, I was thinking when you were joking, like massages, but like if that was an actual thing, or if they had like free shrimp scampi every day, or shrimp gumbo, or whatever the shit you got last week.
No,
are
honestly,
you asking Chin?
I'm asking the group.
Yeah,
I have.
For me, honestly, I would say like, because I don't have this, but
Jesus Christ.
Medical insurance, 401k, sick days, vacation days
that's
off.
Standard.
Do you know how insane that is? as Thingy's about to say, that is standard practice, isn't it? He just doesn't have any of that shit. Doesn't demand it either from Brendan. Doesn't want to ruffle the feathers. Doesn't want to get under his skin, or I don't know, whatever. So he just accepts whatever salary Brendan would, give him as charity, and say, yeah, here's your 60 grand. He just 70. He's like, I don't know, man. I should be on way more than that. Which he's obviously going to be, but it's really funny. It's really fucking funny and weird and odd. But hey, what can you do? Absolutely nothing. Chin needs all the help that he can get, but he's not going to get it anytime soon until he helps himself, because the market out there has changed. If he tries to go back out there hunting for jobs with the same level of experience and veracity that he has now, there's no way he gets it, no way he gets it there. But hey, what do I know? Absolutely nothing. Cool. I'm gonna leave it there, people. I'm gonna leave it there for now, and then we're gonna be back again tomorrow for some more. Okay. I'm gonna leave it there for now. How long did I do? Oh, just under 2, just under 3. Should have done a nice 4 hour, but just under 3. We'll leave it there for now. We're back again tomorrow. Oh, that's a bit too much there. But yeah, we'll be back again tomorrow for more. Appreciate you. Smash like, hit subscribe. Smash like, hit subscribe. I appreciate you. Adding the timestamps now as we sit. And I'll see you guys again for more tomorrow. There'll be more. It'll probably be way earlier actually this time. It won't be as late. It won't be as late because I didn't watch the Odyssey late. But yeah, I appreciate you all. Smash like, subscribe, and I'll see the rest of you again later on. Apologies again for the delay, but we'll be back again. It's good to be back. Peace.